Hey, what's up guys, it's your boy KCM What Ifs. Today we are gonna be reading the Sharingan Devil, or what if Naruto had the Sharingan and was a captain of the ANBU. So sit back, relax and enjoy. 3 years later. A lone figure waited in the shadows. It was something he was very proficient at, after all shinobi were meant to be swift and stealthy. In front of him was a palace surrounded by an army of samurai. Now samurai were not as strong as shinobi but were still one of the finest swordsmen and intelligent people in the world. One mistake and it was all over for him. His red eyes carefully observed the movements of the patrols. The guards' movements were sloppy and were easy to decipher, and as a result he had gotten past several such patrols and had now entered the daimyo's palace. The daimyo's palace was very huge. It had a great number of chambers and various passages leading to different directions. For any other person it was like a maze, but not for this person. He was an ANBU, one of the best and most skilled shinobi of his village. His ANBU gear and the sword strapped on his back were proof of that. He was Falcon, one of the bravest and quickest ANBU of his village. He had performed some dangerous missions for the sake of his village, and this one was not an exception. His mission was to assassinate the daimyo of Bird Country and make it look like his own guards had killed him. He did not know why he had to assassinate his target. Like every other assassination mission, he was just given the target and not the reason for the assassination. But now was not the time to think about such things. He had a mission to complete. He quickly performed a specific set of hand signs in order to proceed without being detected. Maisegakure no Jutsu, hiding with camouflage technique. This jutsu was one of his finest jutsu in his arsenal. Only those with a dojutsu or a sensing ability would be able to spot him. He quickly faded in the shadows and started moving across the corridors at a very steady pace. Even though this jutsu made him almost undetectable, he had to be careful. He had memorized all the passages of the palace and every possible route for entry and exit from the palace. He was about to turn left in order to proceed towards the daimyo's private chamber, but stopped when he saw two samurai looking in his direction firmly. A little sweat started to form on his forehead. He was by no means weak, but he could not take on an army of samurai all alone. Even if he could escape, his mission would be a failure. He carefully placed his hand on his sword's hilt, ready to finish off the pair of samurai. But luckily one of the samurai joked that they must have been imagining things and went off their own way. He sighed in relief and proceeded towards his target, but had to hide immediately behind a pillar when a patrol passed beside him. This mission was getting difficult with every passing moment. He had to finish it within a specific timeline. After a few minutes he reached his destination, the daimyo's private chamber. It was surrounded by 10 heavily armed samurai who were constantly monitoring each and every activity. The door to the chambers was locked, and apparently only one of the samurai would have the key to the chambers. His red eyes glanced over the samurai in gray armor with a red metallic mask covering his face and a sword strapped on his waist. He seemed to have heavy armor on his chest and legs and had gauntlets covering his arms. ANBU assumed that he was the leader of this samurai unit and as such had access to the room, so he had to keep him alive for the time being while eliminating the rest of the samurai. He knew attacking the samurai head-on would only cause more commotion in the palace, and as such had a fine plan in his mind. He performed another set of hand signs quickly in order to cast his jutsu on his targets. Kokwanjio no Jutsu, Bringer of Darkness technique. Immediately the samurai were surrounded in a world of darkness. None of them could see a thing. Their eyes were completely blocked and nothing was visible in the darkness. The ANBU quickly leaped at his targets in order to finish them. He appeared behind a samurai and took out the samurai's sword, and in one swift motion beheaded him with his lifeless body falling to the ground with a thud. The remaining samurai quickly became alert but still couldn't see a thing. One by one slashes of a sword could be heard, followed by the sound of bodies dropping to the ground. The ANBU cut through the samurai, hitting them in the neck and instantly killing them, and before anyone could counterattack, all of the samurai were dead except for their leader. The leader looked around in the darkness. He knew his men were dead and he was going to join them soon. No matter what he tried, the world around him was dark, it was as if he had gone blind in an instant. "Your abilities are indeed impressive, assassin," said the leader in a monotone voice without any emotion in it. He was surprised when the darkness around him disappeared and he was staring into blood-red eyes with 3 tomo surrounding it. The ANBU quickly cast his genjutsu on the samurai leader and disappeared in the shadows in order to let the samurai finish the work. The doors to the chamber opened and the samurai went towards Daimyo's bed where he appeared to be sleeping. Daimyo was a thin bald man with wrinkles on his face. The samurai quickly took out his sword and in a swift motion struck the daimyo in his chest. The man's eyes widened before it closed permanently. The ANBU quickly appeared behind the samurai and in a quick motion beheaded him with his lifeless body falling beside the daimyo. He then quickly placed the body of another dead samurai beside the other 2 dead bodies, making it appear that one of them had been trying to save the daimyo. He quickly searched through the dead samurai leader's pocket and found a letter. He read the letter and found out that it was for his daughter. It pained ANBU's heart knowing that he was the one who had made the child an orphan by killing her father. The man was someone's father, someone's husband, and yet he had killed him for the sake of his village. Putting those thoughts aside, he quickly took out a piece of paper and wrote a suicide note in the samurai's leader handwriting, claiming responsibility for assassinating the daimyo. The handwriting in the fake suicide note was the same as it was in the letter which the samurai had written for his daughter. Putting both the letters in the samurai leader's pocket, he turned around to leave the palace. "Forgive me." These were ANBU's last words for the samurai before he disappeared from the chamber with a single tear dropping from his blood-red eyes. A lone figure was standing in front of the famous memorial stone of Konoha. He was wearing his ANBU gear and had his sword strapped on his back. The only distinguishing feature he had was his spiky blonde hair and his falcon ANBU mask. He knelt down in front of the memorial stone and placed a hand on the stone. He visited this place every day. This place reminded him of the people he had lost and what they fought and died for. This person was none other than Naruto Uchiha. It had been 3 long years in his life. 3 years of suffering and loneliness. He knew that he had to make sacrifices when he had joined Root, but he didn't know that the sacrifices would change him so drastically. Root was a very dangerous organization and the things they had done were inhuman. Naruto had tried very hard to gather evidence against Danzo and his Root and had found out some very interesting facts. First of all, Danzo was secretly recruiting a few children to join the organization. Naruto tried to befriend these kids, but they had their memories blocked. They couldn't remember where they were from, and no matter how hard they tried, their memories were sealed. As a result, Naruto had to use his Sharingan to enter into the children's minds, and the things he found were horrifying. Danzo used to secretly pay some orphanages all over the Fire Country and used to take these children and turn them into his drones. Sometimes he even destroyed families of some children just to get them in Root. These children were then trained for years and their emotions were completely removed. They were just drones who followed Danzo blindly, and there was no way they could get a normal life back. Naruto had made a friend in Root who understood that Danzo was a threat and was supporting him. Naruto had casted his Yami no Sekai Jutsu on Toryun, one of Danzo's bodyguards. He was really a hard nut to crack, but after days of torture in Naruto's genjutsu he cracked. Naruto's eyes were badly hurt after controlling Toryun for some time, but the information he got was worth it. Danzo used to get financial support for his Root from some wealthy traders in Konoha in exchange for helping them in their illegal cross-border activities. He had great contacts with the previous civilian council before Hiruzen removed them. However, Danzo was not a fool and had regularly tried to read Naruto's mind with the help of Fu Yamanaka, one of his most trusted bodyguards. But with the help of Kurama, Naruto was able to seal away some of his memories regarding information about Root and was able to continue his work as a spy. If not for the Nine-Tails Fox, he would have been easily caught. Naruto and Kurama had become quite good partners over these years. Kurama still despised his Sharingan, but they got along well. But the most terrifying things that Naruto had found out were that Orochimaru had once been part of the Root and Danzo had supported his activities in the past, and they both had worked together on a project known as Project X. No matter how hard Naruto tried, there was no further information related to this project, and it worried him a lot. But the most horrible thing he had found out was the Uchiha massacre. When he was gathering evidence against Danzo, he had got faint hints that the elders were involved and had supported Danzo many times. Deciding to find out more, he infiltrated the prison. Flashback. A figure could be seen sitting in the dark corners of Konoha's prison. This prison held prisoners who had committed murders, rapes, capital offenses, and treason. The person in the cell was none other than Koharu Utantane. Life has been quite difficult for Koharu since the last few years. Ever since her teammate Hiruzen banished the civilian council, she and her other teammate Hamura Mitokado had been imprisoned for opposing the Hokage and trying to usurp more power for the council. Koharu couldn't understand why Hiruzen imprisoned her. She only wanted to protect the best interests of the village. Hiruzen was far too kind and lacked the strength to take harsh decisions, which is why she and Hamura always supported Danzo. Sigh, what is the point in thinking about it? Looks like my last days will be in this prison, thought Koharu tiredly. She had given up on all hope of getting out of this prison. Even her own family had dishonored her. Koharu Utatante, said a cold voice. Koharu looked up and found two cold blue eyes looking at her. She could not see the face of the person, but judging from his shadow, he must at least be 5 feet 5 inches tall and definitely was a shinobi. Who are you? Asked Koharu cautiously. That is an irrelevant question. You will answer my questions, said the person in a cold tone. Huh, do you think that you can just barge in and order me? Asked Koharu angrily. My way is more efficient and you might like it. Mangekyo Sharingan, said the person, and immediately a 3-tomo Sharingan activated in the person's eyes and changed into a shuriken which had 3 ends drawing towards the sides. Koharu was shocked to the core and was already sweating bullets. She couldn't believe that an Uchiha had survived the massacre and was standing in front of her, and he even possessed the Mangekyo Sharingan. The only Uchiha in the village was Sasuke, and this person was not Sasuke. Impossible. This can't be happening, said Koharu fearfully. Tsukuyami. Koharu found herself dragged into the genjutsu. She was a formidable ninja and knew from her past experiences that the Mangekyo Sharingan could cast formidable genjutsu and was even capable of controlling Biju. She herself was a genjutsu specialist and so knew that from this point she was in grave danger. The prison staff had already sealed her chakra and there was no way she could get out of the genjutsu easily. She looked around and found herself bound to a pole with chains all over her body. The entire world around her was black and she could see nothing in that darkness. I want you to tell me everything you know about Danzo Shimura. If you tell me what I want, it will be less painful, said the person in an emotionless tone. Koharu was shocked to hear that this person was after Danzo, and if he was an Uchiha then he must know about the Uchiha massacre and the culprits behind it. I am not going to tell you anything about Danzo or the Uchiha massacre, shouted Koharu with determination in her voice. She didn't realize how stupid her mistake was. Uchiha massacre? Asked the person curiously. Immediately the world around Koharu changed again and now it was all red in color. She was still strapped to the pole and found herself in a sewer. Suddenly a flock of crows came in front of her and to Koharu's utmost horror the crows materialized into a person. This person was 5 feet 5 inches tall. He was wearing an ANBU uniform and had a sword strapped on his back. He was wearing combat boots and fingerless gloves in his hands. His face was hidden by his falcon ANBU mask. What do you know of the Uchiha massacre? Asked the ANBU angrily. Itachi? Asked Koharu with fear in her voice, but immediately dismissed that thought as this could not be Itachi. Answer my questions, said the person and stabbed Koharu in the chest with his sword. H! Screamed Koharu as she was stabbed in her chest. The pain was so real. Don't panic. This is only a genjutsu, said Koharu to herself. Telling yourself this is a genjutsu won't work. This is my world and I control everything here. The next 120 hours will be nothing but this, said ANBU and started stabbing Koharu with his sword multiple times. Koharu started screaming at the top of her lungs as her entire body was getting slashed by ANBU's sword. She tried everything to break out of the genjutsu, but nothing seemed to work. This torture continued for several times until Koharu slipped into unconsciousness. After a few moments, Koharu meekly opened her eyes and found herself in the same position as before, but this time there were hundreds of copies of the same ANBU with swords in their hands ready to pierce her. Koharu was pissed right there as she could not believe what she was seeing. "No, please don't do this. Please have mercy," screamed Koharu with tears falling from her eyes. "Only 119 hours 59 minutes and 59 seconds more to go," said the ANBU sadistically. Koharu couldn't believe what she was hearing. All this time, all the torture she had faced was only a second in this genjutsu. Before she could think any further, all of the ANBU started stabbing her body with their swords. "Stop it! Stop it!" yelled Koharu at the top of her lungs. Her old body couldn't take this torture anymore. "Tell me everything you know about Danzo and the Uchiha massacre or else suffer," said the ANBU coldly. "I will tell you everything, I know, but please stop it," begged Koharu with tears falling freely from her eyes. "Very well, what does Danzo have to do with the Uchiha massacre?" asked the ANBU curiously. "He was the one who convinced Itachi to eliminate the Uchiha clan," said Koharu tiredly. The ANBU's eyes widened on hearing that. Everyone told that Itachi had lost his mind due to his ANBU career and had killed his clan. "Why did Danzo want to eliminate the Uchiha?" asked the ANBU dangerously and pointed a sword at Koharu's throat. "After the Kyuubi attack, we suspected that the Uchiha clan were behind it. Because the Mangekyo Sharingan has the ability to control the Bijou, we placed them under the strict surveillance of the ANBU Black Ops and shifted them to the outskirts of the village. And after some time our fears came true. You Uchiha started planning a coup to take over the village," spat Koharu venomously. "A coup?" asked the ANBU in shock. "Don't lie to me, you know about this. The Uchiha were traitors and were a threat to the village," yelled Koharu angrily. This shocked ANBU to the core and also made him angry at the same time. "Did you find any proof that the Uchiha had controlled the Bijou?" asked the ANBU angrily. "It was a possibility, we had to look after the best interests of the village," said Koharu coldly. "You blamed the Uchiha clan without having any proof of their involvement," said the ANBU angrily and stabbed Koharu in her right eye. "H!" screamed Koharu in pain as her right eye was destroyed by the sword. "What did you do next?" asked the ANBU and stabbed Koharu again. "H! We made Itachi our spy and kept an eye on the Uchiha's activities. But things became worse and they started planning a coup to take over the village," said Koharu. "And you made Itachi kill his clan?" asked the ANBU sadly with a few tears dropping from his eyes. He could not imagine what pain the man must have gone through. Hiruzen and the elders ordered Itachi to eliminate the Uchiha. If the coup had happened, it would have led to civil war in the village and would have destroyed our nation. You Uchihas were selfish and only looked after your own interest. You do not know the importance of the village. Hiruzen wanted to negotiate with the Uchiha and wanted a peaceful solution, but he was naive. You Uchihas could never see reason, so we forced Hiruzen to eliminate your clan. You were a threat to the village," accused Koharu. "How could Itachi do this?" asked the ANBU sadly. "Itachi was different. He understood the importance of the village and the peace in the shinobi world. He decided to protect the village by eliminating his clan, but it seems that he failed as he has let another Uchiha live besides his brother. He was always too soft and kind," said Koharu with a frown. "You eliminated my clan and made my brother a murderer without having any proof." "What else do you know about Danzo?" asked the ANBU and started stabbing Koharu angrily with his sword. "Danzo had a base somewhere in the village where he did all his activities to protect the village. Only Orochimaru and few of Danzo's men know of this." "That's all I know," said Koharu. She was exhausted by the torture and could not take it anymore. "Is that all?" asked the ANBU and leaked a lot of ki which made Koharu gulp in fear. I muttered Koharu meekly. Suddenly, to Koharu's utmost horror, the nine-tails fox appeared behind the ANBU and looked at her menacingly. Koharu cowered in fear. Even in this world the fox was still menacing and was ready to kill her. What is this? I told you everything I know, let me go, begged Koharu fearfully. For your crimes against my clan and my brother I will not let you live, said the ANBU coldly. No. No. No, yelled Koharu. The fox then jumped towards Koharu and started tearing her flesh piece by piece. Koharu's painful screams echoed in the entire area. ANBU deactivated his Mangekyo Sharingan and looked at Koharu's dead body. Her eyes were wide open and her body lay still in her prison cell. She couldn't handle the torture anymore and had a heart attack that took her life instantly. ANBU stepped towards her body and closed her eyes. Do you think that it was the right thing to do, Kurama? Asked the ANBU. I don't know about that, but it sure was a lot of fun. Damn, it's been ages since I have enjoyed something like this. You are a true Kitsune Naruto, said Kurama proudly and laughed. It's just a lot to take in. My clan was wrongly accused, and even though I know what they did was for the village, I cannot forgive Danzo and the elders for making Jiji and Itachi do this, said Naruto sadly. The Uchiha clan were his family, and no matter what happens, Naruto was not a person who would abandon his family. Whatever, Naruto, I don't give a damn about the Uchiha. You should not overuse your Mangekyo Sharingan. You know it is dangerous, don't you? Said Kurama. I know, said Naruto and wiped out the blood that was coming out of his eyes. Itachi, I will look after Sasuke and I will make sure that you get your justice, my brother, thought Naruto with determination. Flashback end. Some people may wonder how an academy student was able to do such things, but Naruto was not an ordinary person. Danzo had trained him in espionage, recon and tactical warfare and assassination in order to act as his spy against Sarutobi. The root ANBU were quite skilled and had trained Naruto in Kenjutsu, Ninjutsu and Genjutsu. Danzo had even personally taught him Fuinjutsu. Naruto was quite skilled in Fuinjutsu and Danzo had seen that. He taught him all he knew about Fuinjutsu. For an old man, Danzo was quite skilled as he had helped Naruto in mastering his wind and water affinities. Danzo taught Naruto about calligraphy and all the basics of Fuinjutsu. Naruto learned that it was easy for him to learn Fuinjutsu, it was as if he had natural talent in it. Danzo taught him sealing jutsu too. Naruto was not an expert in Fuinjutsu, but he certainly wasn't an amateur either. After all this hard training, Naruto was at the level of an ANBU captain. Danzo had even once said that he was on par with Itachi Uchiha. After learning about the truth of the Uchiha massacre and Itachi's sacrifice, Naruto's respect for his brother increased and he swore he would protect Sasuke. He still remembered the day he told Sasuke his truth. Flashback. Because you and I are brothers, said Naruto and looked at Sasuke with his 3-tomo Sharingan. Sasuke's eyes widened on seeing Naruto's Sharingan. He couldn't believe what he was seeing. This can't be happening. It is impossible. This must be a genjutsu, thought Sasuke. Kai yelled at Sasuke and expelled a large amount of chakra. After a few moments he opened his eyes and to his utmost shock Naruto was still sitting there with an amused smile on his face. You really think that I'm an illusion? Asked Naruto in an amused tone. Bullshit, Itachi killed my entire clan except me. You cannot be an Uchiha, yelled Sasuke in angry tone. Sigh, while it is true that Itachi did slaughter our clan, he did not know about me being an Uchiha, so I was spared, said Naruto softly. He knew it must be very hard for Sasuke to accept this, even though it was hard for him to accept that he was the son of the Yondaime Hokage. Who were your parents? I have never seen you inside my clan compound, asked Sasuke curiously after a few moments. What kind of idiotic question is that? You do remember I was an orphan, right? How the hell am I supposed to know my parents? Accused Naruto in mock anger. Oh. Sorry about that, said Sasuke a little sheepishly. Naruto's eyes widened on seeing Sasuke apologize. He never expected the emo of the academy to apologize. Sasuke saw Naruto's disbelieving look and got curious. "Is there something on my face?" asked Sasuke. "Nope," said Naruto and started laughing loudly. "What the hell? What is so funny, dobe?" yelled Sasuke. "Nothing, it's just funny to see you, the emo broody king, to apologize," said Naruto and continued laughing. HN muttered to Sasuke but also had a rare true smile on his face, one which he had never had since the last few years. "To-san, Ka-san, I finally have someone who can understand me and maybe help, and maybe we can earn back the glory of our clan," thought Sasuke with determination. "When did you awaken your Sharingan?" asked Sasuke curiously. "I was 6 at the time, I was training with Kakashi and I just woke up," lied Naruto. Even though Sasuke was family, he still had to be cautious with anything related to Danzo. Just like Itachi, thought Sasuke in amazement, and also frowned a little as he had not awakened his Sharingan and an Uchiha was incomplete without his Sharingan. "I tried to be friendly with you but you just wanted to be left alone, so I decided to let you be until you get some sense in that thick skull of yours," said Naruto with a smile. "Shut up," yelled Sasuke, and both the boys stared at each other but after a few moments started laughing loudly. Sasuke was truly feeling happy after all these years. Everyone in the village pitied him, the elders sympathized with him, girls became his fangirl, boys started envying him for his looks and skill. In a way, people only saw him as the last Uchiha, poor boy, Sasuke-kun, and all other titles. None of them could understand him, but Naruto was different from anyone in the village. He had been observing Naruto since the beginning of the academy. Naruto reminded Sasuke a lot of Itachi. He was kind and gentle and always encouraged others to do better. He did not care about names, clans or ranks, he was just a natural person who understood people. Sasuke had seen many people look at Naruto with hatred and he couldn't understand what made them hate Naruto so much, but Naruto never gave up and always strived to become better. He liked Naruto but also envied him. He was an enigma to Sasuke, and also at that time he was too traumatized to socialize with other people. "Hey Sasuke, can I ask you something?" asked Naruto quietly. "Shoot," said Sasuke. "Why do you want to kill Itachi so badly?" asked Naruto sadly. He too could understand Sasuke's reasons for killing Itachi, but revenge always led to a person's downfall. Sasuke closed his eyes and decided what to speak. He hadn't told anyone his reasons, but Naruto was his only family left, so he would like to have some type of friendship with Naruto. "I loved Itachi more than anything. He was my idol, I always tried to surpass him, he was the prodigy of our clan. People looked up to him even though my father only paid attention to Itachi. Mother tried to be the peacemaker in the family. But Itachi was different, he was always there for me. He always inspired me to be better and tried to encourage my father to pay attention to me too. You remind me a lot of Itachi, it is as if I was just looking at him," said Sasuke sadly. "I am like Itachi?" asked Naruto curiously. "Yes, Itachi was a kind and gentle person just like you before him," said Sasuke, but stopped as he remembered that night. He clenched his hands but was surprised when Naruto put a hand on his shoulder. "I understand your pain, Sasuke, but what did Itachi tell you when you confronted him?" asked Naruto cautiously. He knew he was in dangerous territory, but if Itachi was like him, then there must have been reasons for him to slaughter his clan. "He told me he killed our clan because he wanted to test the limits of his own ability. He even showed me how he slaughtered everyone over and over again," said Sasuke with tears in his eyes. He could not hold his emotions, which he had held for so many years. Naruto embraced Sasuke in a warm hug and let him cry on his shoulders. Sasuke cried for a few minutes but calmed down and gave Naruto a thankful nod with a warm smile. "From what you have told me, Sasuke, I don't believe Itachi slaughtered our clan just to test his ability," said Naruto cautiously. "What do you mean?" asked Sasuke curiously. He was already an ANBU Black Ops captain at the age of 13. "That means he was one of the best shinobi of our village, only the Hokage and few others were stronger than him, so that reason he gave you is not true." Also, if he showed you that he killed our clan. You must remember that genjutsu can be easily made and manipulated by people. If he did kill our clan, why did he spare you? Asked Naruto curiously. He told me he wanted me to get the Mangekyo Sharingan and come to kill him to avenge our clan, said Sasuke angrily. Mangekyo Sharingan, thought Naruto, but decided to find out later. Do you really believe that? If I was Itachi, why would I want to measure my strength against a kid when I single-handedly killed one of the best clans in the entire shinobi world? It doesn't make any sense. Also, if he was really the kind and gentle older brother, then he loved you more than anything, said Naruto, shocking Sasuke. What? It's all lies, yelled Sasuke, being unable to accept the truth. Sasuke then remembered all the good times he and Itachi had. What Itachi did for him. One part of his mind was just begging him to understand that what Naruto was saying was true, while another part of his mind was unable to accept this. Look, Sasuke, all I'm saying is that we will confront Itachi and ask him the truth. Until then, don't try to waste your life on revenge. You do remember we have to rebuild our clan, right? Asked Naruto happily. Yeah, I guess you are right, but I still want to talk with Itachi, and if I find that what he did was for his own ability, I will kill him, said Sasuke with determination. Fair enough, I'll even help you with that, said Naruto casually. What? Asked a shocked Sasuke. Well, we are from the same clan, so we are brothers, right? We fight together, we die together, said Naruto with a warm smile. Cheeky bastard, muttered Sasuke with a grin. No matter what happens, Sasuke, I've got your back from now on, said Naruto and held out his fist to Sasuke. Thank you, my brother, said Sasuke with a true smile and punched his fist with Naruto. I can still kick your ass, you know, said Naruto cheekily with a huge grin on his face. Cyclops. Emo. Cyclops. Emo. They both argued for a few minutes but eventually settled down and talked about different things. Naruto finally understood what Kakashi said. Sasuke needed a person who could understand him, and it could only be an Uchiha. Hey Naruto, if you talk about this to anyone, said Sasuke dangerously. Does Emo have a reputation to keep? Joked Naruto. Said Sasuke. Alright, but that's gonna cost you, said Naruto with a huge grin on his face. Sasuke paled on seeing that. He knew Naruto was quite mischievous. What do you want? Asked Sasuke tiredly. Ramen. Flashback end. Naruto and Sasuke had become best friends during these years. If one could say they were like brothers. Sasuke was still a little broody, but he eventually opened up and mixed with the rest of his classmates, and this proved to be a huge benefit for Ino and Sakura, who always pestered Sasuke for dates. Naruto enjoyed seeing Sasuke's annoyed expressions when the fangirls troubled him. Eventually Sasuke started to train with Naruto and Kakashi and was able to activate his Sharingan with 2 tomatoes in each eye. Naruto still remembered how Sasuke bragged the day he awakened his Sharingan. Sasuke was quite a skilled shinobi and was proficient with fire-style ninjutsu and shuriken jutsu. Kakashi had trained them very well over these 3 years. However, Naruto's life was not all that smooth. He had started to get distant from his friends in order to investigate more about Danzo and his activities. He felt a lot more lonely, but he knew he had to do this for the sake of his village. Naruto thought that he had covered his tracks well, but what he did not know was that Hiruzen and Kakashi had noticed the change in his behavior. Hiruzen had started to get suspicious about him, and Naruto could still remember when he was confronted by Hiruzen. Flashback. Naruto was standing in the library of the Sarutobi compound. The library had a large variety of books that Hiruzen liked to read. There was a small armchair in the middle of the room for a person to read peacefully. Hiruzen was sitting on the armchair, but instead of reading a book he was staring at Naruto. The library had some privacy seals which Naruto had noticed, so it meant that Hiruzen must want to talk about something important. So what's up, Gigi, why'd you call me here? Asked Naruto cheerfully, trying to avoid further suspicion. Naruto, you've been acting strange lately, said Hiruzen flatly and narrowed his gaze at him. Nothing strange about me. I just have my own work to do, said Naruto impassively. If that is true, where are you nowadays? You skipped the academy, sometimes you even send your clones in your place. You are not meeting up with your friends any longer. The only ones you see are Kakashi, Sasuke, Anko and Kurenai. It's been months since you even visited Konohamaru. What are you up to? Asked Hiruzen sternly and leaked a little ki. I figured you'd find out sooner or later, said Naruto with a smirk. What do you mean? Asked Hiruzen warily. You are a good man Gigi, but you trust people very easily, sighed Naruto. What? Asked Hiruzen curiously. But he felt something that the answer he might get won't be pretty. There is a coup being planned in order to overthrow you, said Naruto confidently. What? Yelled Hiruzen angrily. That's the truth, said Naruto impassively. What are you up to, boy? What do you know? Ordered Hiruzen to lose all the kindness he had. He loved Naruto, but the village was more important than one person, and if Naruto was a threat then he would have to deal with him, no matter how much pain it may cause him. I am a root ANBU captain, said Naruto, shocking Hiruzen to the core. What do you mean? Asked Hiruzen, already knowing some of the answers. I have joined Danzo, who is planning to overthrow you to take over the village, said Naruto sadly. Hiruzen's eyes widened on hearing this and he immediately gazed at Naruto sternly. He forgot that this boy was like his grandson, but now he was a possible threat to the village. How do you even know Danzo? I had disbanded Root, said Hiruzen confidently. Each of us lives dependent and bound by our individual knowledge and our awareness, all that is what we call reality. What you believe might just be an illusion. Root is operating right under your nose with Danzo acting as its leader, stated Naruto without averting his eyes from Hiruzen. How did you get involved in all of this? Asked Hiruzen tiredly. It's better if I show you, said Naruto and activated his Sharingan. He then showed Hiruzen everything, how he came in contact with Danzo, what Danzo revealed to him, and how he had decided to watch Danzo to protect the village and his entire time in Root. Naturally Hiruzen was first shocked that all of this had happened right under his nose. What kind of Hokage was he? Naruto was right, he was getting soft. He was also horrified at seeing what Naruto had to endure and felt guilty as he suspected Naruto so easily. The boy only wanted to protect the village as a true shinobi. Gigi, was all that true? What Danzo said? Asked Naruto hesitantly. Yes, said Hiruzen solemnly. Very well, said Naruto stoically. Do you hate me, Naruto? Asked Hiruzen sadly. No, I do not hate you or anyone else. My life is too short for hatred or revenge. I do regret that you took away my Obachan, but for all you've done for me I can forgive you and can at least try to understand your position, said Naruto with a short smile. Thank you, Naruto. I know I have failed you, but I only wanted to look after you. Jiraiya too wanted to look after you, said Hiruzen, but stopped when he saw Naruto's cold look. Save it, I know Jiraiya must have been busy and I do not hate him, but he failed as a godfather. I did not want to be doted on by him, but if he could even have visited me once in my life I would have been happy knowing that I have a godfather. But that's all in the past. Now what do you want me to do? Asked Naruto. What is there to do? Get away from Root, I will deal with them, ordered Hiruzen. I'm afraid that is not possible. If you try to act hastily it will lead to civil war in the village. I know you have the numbers, but Root ANBU are far quite skilled than our regular shinobi. We need to find out every information about Danzo and his forces. We need to know his strategy. If you want to destroy a nation, then you need to first destroy its leadership. This will lead to chaos and the morale will be low and the enemy can win easily. If Danzo wants to take over the village, then he must first eliminate you and the Jonin commander and higher ups. Then he could easily take over the leadership of the village. Also, we do not know the location of Danzo's forces, so we are temporarily blind, explained Naruto briefly. Hiruzen was stunned by the explanation and thought that Naruto had shown. He did not look like a 14-year-old but looked like a veteran shinobi and strategist. Amazing, how can you think like this? asked Hiruzen proudly. Danzo has trained me in recon, espionage, assassination and tactical warfare, said Naruto, shocking Hiruzen again. How strong are you? Asked Hiruzen curiously. I'm at the level of Itachi Uchiha. That's what Danzo had said Naruto frankly. Impossible, said Hiruzen in shock. Whether you believe me or not, it's your choice. I will have to continue to act as a spy, said Naruto. No, we'll figure something out. Naruto, it's too dangerous, you can even get killed. I promised your parents and Tsunade that I will look after you. I simply cannot send you to your death, persuaded Hiruzen. That is a possibility. But my life is not important. What is important is the village and the village alone, said Naruto with determination. Hiruzen's eyes widened on hearing this. He could see a reflection of Tobirama Senju and Itachi Uchiha in Naruto. It made Hiruzen proud and sad too. Proud for Naruto to be a true shinobi of the village, and sad that he did not value his life. Naruto. I cannot sacrifice you, said Hiruzen sadly. Self-sacrifice is the duty of a true shinobi. Gigi. I will provide you with all the information I can find about Danzo. I'm the only one who can do this, said Naruto. Naruto, said Hiruzen with a few tears in his eyes. Naruto dropped to his knees and bowed his head in front of Hiruzen. Gigi, you and I both know what can happen if this coup is executed. If I'm right, I will be the assassin who will kill you, said Naruto sadly. I know you are the closest operative who can get to me, and Danzo knows that. If this coup happens, and even if we defeat Danzo, our village will become economically unstable. Customers will not trust us if there are such problems in our village. More such factions could be formed, and it may lead to the fourth great ninja war, and countless innocent lives would be lost, said Hiruzen sadly. That is why I am asking you to let me eliminate the entire route. ANBU Black Ops, begged Naruto. No, absolutely not. I will not let you do this, yelled Hiruzen angrily. Believe me, Gigi, if there was any other way I would have done it. Even if you kill Danzo, his operatives would continue his legacy and will pose a major threat to the village. I have some friends who have been reduced to nothing but drones who are just designed to kill and follow Danzo. If I kill them, then no one would suspect that there was a coup in the village. I am a Jinchuriki, the people of this village don't like me. Gigi, the people will easily accept me as a traitor, said Naruto sadly. Do you even know what you are saying? You will be forever remembered as a traitor and a murderer. You will be a missing nin and will always be hunted. Your life will be worse than death. What about us? Kakashi, Enko, Sasuke, Konohamaru, your friends, and most importantly Kurenai. I know that you love her, said Hiruzen. You know? Asked a shocked Naruto. I know you better, Naruto. You have loved her for a long time, ever since you became her student. You two have gotten close. Even Kurenai likes you a lot more than any man in this entire village. Do you really not care about her? Pleaded Hiruzen. I love her more than anything. But I must do this, please Gigi. I beg you to never let anyone know the truth about me and my feelings for Kurenai. It will only cause more pain. For the sake of the village and the children of this village, you must let me do this, said Naruto with tears dropping from his eyes. Hiruzen knelt down and hugged Naruto tightly. His old heart couldn't bear this. He had already seen such a thing in the past, and for Naruto to go through all of this was unbearable. But Hiruzen knew what Naruto said was true. This was the reality of the shinobi world. Forgive me, Naruto, said Hiruzen sadly. There is nothing you should be sorry about. I have chosen this path and I will follow it to the end. I am the son of the fourth Hokage, and as such it is my duty to protect my village. This is my will of fire, said Naruto, and got up and started walking towards the door. Minato and Kushina would be so proud of you. You truly are a hero, Naruto, said Hiruzen regretfully. He hated himself for being a Hokage right now. To sacrifice one of the closest people in your life was the burden which every Kage had to bear for the village. I just wish that one day we can create a peaceful world, said Naruto sadly. Naruto, did you really have to go through all that? Said Hiruzen, remembering a memory Naruto had shown him. Yes, said Naruto and showed Hiruzen his Mangekyo Sharingan. Take care Gigi, I'm going to visit Konohamaru, said Naruto and left the room. Why did it have to end like this, thought Hiruzen regretfully. Naruto was walking towards the training arena of the Sarutobi compound. He knew what choice he had made and the consequences that would follow. Are you sure about this, Naruto? Asked Kurama cautiously. He didn't care what Naruto did to the villagers, but he did care about Naruto even if it was a little bit. Naruto was the only one who didn't label him as a mindless Biju but as a companion. I am Kurama. I am the only one who can do this, I cannot let this coup happen, it will destroy the village, said Naruto firmly. Why do you even care about this damn village at all? After what they did to you, why do you want to protect them? Asked Kurama a little angrily. He was quite displeased by Naruto's foolishness. Then what was I supposed to do, destroy the village for my revenge? Asked Naruto with a snort. Well, it would be fun, said Kurama with a chuckle. If I take my revenge and destroy the village, then it would only bring more pain and misery. I grew up without my parents, but that does not give me the right to destroy the peace my parents and my brother gave their lives for, said Naruto sadly as he remembered a certain gray-haired boy. TCH, you are still naive, but I still got your back. Well, it would be a lot more fun when you do what you have to do, said Kurama with a dark chuckle. Naruto sighed on hearing this. He knew that he could not change some things of Kurama, but regardless he was thankful to the beast for sticking by his side and being his friend. Naruto Nikken, yelled Konohamaru, bringing Naruto out of his thoughts. He looked up and saw Konohamaru in the training field along with Asuma Sarutobi and Ebisu. He gave a respectful nod towards Asuma as well as Ebisu, even though the latter scowled in return. What are you up to, Konohamaru? Asked Naruto and ruffled Konohamaru's hair. The little boy muttered something about annoying older brothers. Everyone laughed on hearing this, even Ebisu chuckled a little. I am training with Asuma Ajizan and Ebisu sensei, said Konohamaru curtly. Well, if they allow I can teach you something too, said Naruto with a smile. Konohamaru had a big smile on his face and turned towards Asuma, who just shrugged and lit up his cigarette. However, Ebisu had other plans. I am sorry, that is not possible, boy. I am sure I can teach honorable grandson all he needs to become Hokage. I am Jounin, an elite ninja, and as such I am better than you, said Ebisu curtly, but if one could observe carefully he was a little annoyed. Not this again, thought Asuma tiredly. He knew Naruto from the beginning. He couldn't understand how Ebisu could be so naive and still hold grudges against the innocent boy. Well then, why don't you have a fight with me to show me that you are worthy of being the honorable grandson's trainer? If you need help, why don't you and Asuma team up together against me? Retorted Naruto with a smirk. That won't be necessary. I think I can fight you perfectly, said Ebisu calmly. Asuma, Ebisu, fight with him, said a new commanding voice. Both the men turned around and saw Hiruzen standing behind them with Emiko with him. Asuma couldn't understand why Hiruzen was saying that Naruto cannot fight a Jounin, can he? This is an order. Konohamaru, stepped aside now, said Hiruzen in a commanding voice. But said Emiko worriedly, but was cut off when Hiruzen firmly raised his hand and silenced her. Everyone could feel the pressure of the third Hokage of Konoha. Guess he wants to test me, thought Naruto. Asuma, Ebisu, go all out on him. Don't hold back, he is not what he looks like, said Hiruzen. Hai, both the men replied in unison. Asuma's voice had a little doubt while Ebisu had a confident tone in it. All the combatants stepped up in the training ground while Hiruzen, Emiko and Konohamaru stood on the far side of the training ground. Hiruzen was keenly observing Naruto. From what memories Naruto had shown him, he had seen so many dangerous missions and opponents that Naruto had defeated in his covert operations and the gruesome training he had undergone. He was sure that if what he had seen was true, then Asuma and Ebisu were no challenge at all for Naruto. Emiko was quite worried for her surrogate son, she knew Naruto was quite powerful for a person his age, but Asuma was also one of the guardian shinobi 12 of the legendary Fire Temple and was a worthy opponent. On the other hand, Ebisu was also quite skilled. She just wished that Naruto did not get hurt. Konohamaru was very excited about this battle. Naruto was his idol, and only if he could defeat Naruto then he could become Hokage. He wanted to know how strong his big brother was. Asuma was quite curious when he saw Naruto standing calmly in front of him and staring at him. It was as if he had no fear in him, or he was arrogant. Asuma dismissed the latter because he knew Naruto was a kind and gentle boy. Ebisu was anxiously waiting to start the fight. This was the moment where he would teach the Kyuubi brat a lesson. Let's do this, Kurama, but no Sharingan. Everything else is a go. I'll have to prove it to Gigi that I am indeed a worthy Root ANBU captain, said Naruto in his mind. Whatever, Naruto, just kick their ass and give me some fun, said Kurama with a chuckle. Got it. Asuma and Ebisu nodded with each other and immediately launched a dozen kunai and shuriken at Naruto at tremendous speeds. Naruto just stood there calmly. These attacks were quite fast, but he was so used to his Sharingan that such attacks were below normal for him. He himself launched a dozen of his shuriken towards Asuma and Ebisu. Both the shurikens collided with each other with precision and dropped to the ground with a lot of sound. Asuma and Ebisu both went through a couple of hand signs simultaneously with great speed. Katan, Gokakyu no Jutsu, Fire Style, Fireball Jutsu. A large fireball the size of a boulder was released by both the Jounin and was rushing towards Naruto at tremendous speed. Naruto had already recognized the hand signs and had finished performing his own jutsu. Suetun, Suijin Hiki, Water Release, Water Encampment Wall. Naruto unleashed a large amount of water from his mouth which surrounded him on all sides and protected him from the fireball. Both the jutsu clashed with each other and the entire area was covered in steam. When the steam reduced, Naruto could see Asuma and Ebisu's amazed faces. He could understand this as he had created water without any water source nearby. His water affinity is strong, thought Asuma with a smirk. Impressive, thought Ebisu with awe. With the spectators. Tusan that was, said Imiko in shock. Awesome, yelled Konohamaru happily. He was really proud of his big brother now, who was fighting head-on with two Jounin. You haven't seen half of what he can do, replied Hiruzen calmly. He knew Naruto was just toying with the Jounin. With Naruto. My turn, said Naruto with a smirk and finished his last hand sign and jumped high in the air. Futon, Shinkaha, Wind Release, Vacuum Wave. Naruto took a deep breath and sent several wind bullets towards Asuma and Ebisu with tremendous speed. Wind-style attacks were one of the fastest attacks after lightning, and Naruto knew that. He had seen Asuma and Ebisu use a fire style which was weak against wind, and so he decided to use his wind attacks. Both the Jounin's eyes widened when they saw several wind bullets headed towards them. Asuma was a wind style user, so he knew these attacks better and was just able to perform a substitution at the last moment. However, Ebisu was not so lucky. He was hit head-on by the attack and was sent flying in the air with numerous lethal cuts on his body. H! Screamed Ebisu in pain. But he was more surprised when he saw Naruto standing a few feet behind him and had already finished the ram hand sign. Shit! Cursed Ebisu. Katan Hozenka no Jutsu, Phoenix Sage Fire Technique. Ebisu's eyes widened when he saw several small fireballs hitting his body and started burning him. Before he could do anything, he saw Naruto looking at him coldly. Katsu, yelled Naruto. All the fireballs on Ebisu's body exploded in a second and burned various parts of Ebisu's body badly and sent him crashing in a tree with a loud thud. Naruto unleashed a hail of shuriken hitting Ebisu all over his body and pinned him to the tree. However, Ebisu had already fallen unconscious. One down, one more to go, said Naruto calmly. With the spectators. What just happened? Asked a stunned Konohamaru. His sensei was just beaten so quickly that he couldn't understand. How did he beat Ebisu? Tusan, one moment he was there and the next he was behind Ebisu?" asked Emiko in confusion. "Naruto formed a shadow clone to attack Ebisu from behind," explained Hiruzen. "But I didn't even see any hand signs," said Emiko. She was a medical ninja and as such knew many things about shinobi. "That's the trick, he formed a shadow clone without any hand signs," said Hiruzen calmly to the stunned mother and son. "He is from the Namikes as well as the Uchiha clan. Both the clans were famous for their speed and jutsu, and Naruto is an excellent shinobi. I can see why Naruto was recruited by Danzo," thought Hiruzen analytically. With Naruto, Asuma was shocked on seeing what had happened. The fight had only just begun and Ebisu was already down. Not only that, his opponent was able to use jutsu of 3 different chakra nature and his speed was unparalleled. What more tricks has he got up his sleeve, thought Asuma cautiously. Naruto jumped high in the air and threw a shuriken towards Asuma. Shuriken Kage Bunshin no Jutsu, Shuriken Shadow Clone Technique. The one shuriken now multiplied into hundreds of shuriken which were going to kill Asuma very quickly. I must act quickly, thought Asuma, and gathered a large amount of chakra. Futon, Detapa, Wind Release, Great Breakthrough. Asuma released a large amount of wind which collided with the shuriken barrage strongly. The jutsu's power was so destructive that many of the shuriken were now heading towards Naruto, who was descending towards the ground. Not bad, thought Naruto, and substituted himself with a nearby log. Asuma attacked Naruto and attempted to send a right hook to Naruto's face. Seeing Asuma's movement, Naruto quickly blocked the attack with his left hand and quickly made a leg sweep at Asuma's legs. Asuma had put a lot of power in that hook and Naruto could feel a slight bruised hand of his own. But before Asuma could defend, he was already on the ground as he lost his balance. Naruto backflipped a few meters away from Asuma in order to avoid the kick that Asuma had aimed at his chest. "If I try to fight him head-on with brute force, I will suffer some serious damage." As expected, the Sarutobi clan members have great physical strength. "Then I should use, yes," thought Naruto. "You are indeed a worthy opponent, Asuma-san," said Naruto with a smile and gave a thumbs up to Asuma. "You are also quite skilled," complimented Asuma and proceeded with a couple of hand signs. Katan, Hazakisho, Fire Release, Ash Pile Burning. Asuma released a lot of gunpowder from his mouth which surrounded Naruto on all sides and flicked his cigarette in the smoke, making a large explosion. With the spectators, "Naruto Nikken!" yelled Konohamaru in fear as he saw Naruto get caught in the explosion. "It's not over yet," said Hiruzen. "What do you mean, Two-san?" asked Emiko a little worriedly for her surrogate son. "Just wait and see," said Hiruzen calmly. With Naruto, "Maybe I went a little overboard," thought Asuma hesitantly. He quickly ran up to Naruto's body and was shocked to see the body disperse into a flock of crows. Suddenly someone stabbed a kunai in Asuma's throat. Asuma looked back and saw Naruto standing there with a neutral expression on his face. Asuma tried to hold back the blood that was coming out of his neck but failed miserably. He dropped to the ground. "It's over. Yield now," said Naruto and pointed a kunai at Asuma's chest. Asuma was just barely able to nod, but to his surprise suddenly the Naruto around him disappeared in another flock of crows. Asuma looked around and saw that he was piled up to a tree with many shuriken all over his body preventing him from moving. He saw Naruto standing in front of him with a kunai pointing towards Asuma's throat. Asuma looked down and to his surprise his slitted throat was now perfectly well and had no injury on it. "Shit, genjutsu," thought Asuma angrily on not being able to detect the genjutsu. They both head clapped and turned around and saw Hiruzen looking towards them with a smile. Emiko was already healing Ebisu, who had just woken up, and Konohamaru was looking at Naruto as if he was a god. "Nikkon is so powerful," thought Konohamaru in awe. "You were splendid, Naruto. You were able to emerge victorious against 2 highly skilled jounin of our village," congratulated Hiruzen with a warm smile, but on the inside he was also feeling a lot sad as Naruto was now the perfect candidate for the top secret mission. I just tried. Asuma-san and Ebisu-san were also quite formidable, said Naruto happily. Don't joke, kid, you played with us. How did you cast it a genjutsu on me? I didn't see any hand signs, said Asuma with a small frown and started removing all the shuriken from his body, and Naruto also helped him out. Remember the thumbs up I gave you? Suggested Naruto. Asuma's eyes widened on hearing this. Now everything made sense to him. The moment you saw that you were in my genjutsu, explained Naruto. He is indeed Kurenai's student, thought Hiruzen proudly. What about the fire jutsu? Asked Asuma curiously. Jutsu is a balance between physical energy and spiritual energy which is executed by performing hand signs. When you increase the amount of chakra in a jutsu which is more than required, it becomes unstable. In my jutsu I increased the amount of fire chakra. As a result the fireballs exploded as the amount of chakra was not in the right proportion. If I had put in more chakra then Ebisu-san would have died, explained Naruto. Everyone was quite impressed with Naruto's jutsu and how he was so skilled with it. Naruto noticed some blood leaking from Asuma's shoulders and decided to heal him. Let me heal you up, said Naruto, and started his medical ninjutsu on Asuma's wounds. Everyone was quite shocked on seeing Naruto perform the medical ninjutsu. It was a very tough shinobi skill and only a few were able to master it. This proved that Naruto had great chakra control required for a medic nin. You know medical ninjutsu? Asked Imiko in surprise. I just read about it in the library, and learned it on my own, said Naruto with a smile. Only Hiruzen gave Naruto a knowing look, saying he knew where Naruto had learned medical ninjutsu. Nikon, you have to teach me all these jutsu, please, pleaded Konohamaru with his puppy dog eyes. Sorry about that, Konohamaru, you have a better teacher than myself. He can teach you better than me, said Naruto and poked Konohamaru on his forehead. Ebisu's eyes widened on hearing this. He couldn't believe that the Jinchuriki was saying this. He expected the boy to boast about his victory, but it was quite the opposite. But you are the best, Naruto Nikken, argued Konohamaru. Being the best isn't always meant to be. When you have power you become arrogant and start to lose sight of yourself, even if you were a good person. Right now I am skilled only because of Kakashi-Nissen, Kurenai-chan and Enko-chan. If they hadn't trained me I would not be at this stage. Ebisu-san is a good teacher, said Naruto with a smile. But I lost to you, said Ebisu quietly. He was ashamed after seeing what Naruto was truly like, and he was so wrong about him and considered him only a nuisance. Ebisu-san, there are no shortcuts for becoming Hokage. Do you know why Konohamaru wants to become Hokage? Asked Naruto calmly. Because Hokage is the strongest shinobi in the village, said Ebisu curtly. You are wrong. He wants to become Hokage so that he could be recognized. The people of this village only see him as the honorable grandson of Yondaime-sama. Even you only see him as that. If you can see him as Konohamaru Sarutobi, I am sure that you can make him a splendid shinobi and can be a better teacher than me for Konohamaru, said Naruto with a warm smile. I'm sorry for my rude behavior, Naruto-san, apologized Ebisu. It's alright, said Naruto and accepted the apology. Nikon, thank you for understanding me, said Konohamaru with a few tears in his eyes. That's what big brothers are for, right? Asked Naruto happily. Hi, said Konohamaru with a smile. All the others also smiled on seeing this. All the doubts which Ebisu had for Naruto vanished from his mind as he could now finally see Naruto as a shinobi of Konoha. I just hope your sacrifice will not be in vain, my son, thought Hiruzen sadly. Flashback end. It had been a few weeks since his revelation to Hiruzen. The Root ANBU's activities were getting a lot more intense. Naruto knew what he had to do for his mission. It would only be a matter of time before that fateful day would come. Until then he would try to keep an eye on Danzo and get as much information he can for the village. Naruto knew the entire Root ANBU Black Ops would be together before the invasion at one place for the final strategy, and that was the moment where he will have to put aside all his personal feelings and strike. Naruto picked up his ANBU mask and looked at the memorial stone. He still couldn't forget his brother. Danzo had been giving him a lot of assassination missions in order to make him strong enough to kill Hiruzen. Naruto knew he was a major pawn in the entire scheme. Naruto had become a lot more distant with his classmates. Kakashi and Kurenai had asked him many times what he was up to. But Hiruzen had covered him and always gave some excuse to not make them suspicious of him. Kakashi and Enko had become a lot closer in the past 3 years, if one could say they were. Nah, that can't be possible, thought Naruto with fear. He couldn't imagine what would happen if Kakashi and Enko got together. Naruto had become quite close to Kurenai in the past 3 years. His training was now complete and Kurenai had declared him as her equal in Genjutsu. Kurenai was Naruto's life, he loved everything about her. She was everything he wanted in a life partner, she was. Oi brat, stop rambling in the past, we have to go, and if you are serious about this mission. Forget about her, said Kurama solemnly. He knew how much Naruto loved Kurenai, but if he had decided to take this path, then this was the best choice. Right, said Naruto and placed his Falcon ANBU mask and disappeared into the shadows. He didn't even know what Kurenai truly felt for him. The night was dark, everything around was engulfed in the night's darkness while the rain poured heavily from the sky. It was as if the heavens were weeping. 2 figures could be seen on a cliff, one of them was lying on the ground surrounded by blood, there was a large hole in his chest. The other figure was sitting on the ground. His entire body was shaking, his hands were trembling and were not able to hold the sword in his hand. The sword dropped down on the ground with a thud, drenched in blood which was slowly being washed by the rain droplets. These 2 figures were 2 people, both of them were dressed in their ANBU gear, one of them had spiky blonde hair and blue eyes. He had tears in his eyes and was holding the other person in his hands. The other person had silver hair and black eyes. He was coughing up blood, but still there was a slight smile on his face. Why? Asked the blonde boy with tears in his eyes. Because you are my little brother, said the silver-haired boy and started coughing up blood. The blonde-haired boy brought his hands on the other boy's chest and was about to start to heal him when he was stopped by the other boy. What are you doing? Let me heal you, said the blonde boy frantically. It's no use, I am already sick, cough, cough, even if I survive now, cough, I'll die, said the silver-haired boy and coughed up more blood. Let me get you to the medics, said the blonde-haired boy and picked up the silver-haired boy. No. What? Asked the blonde boy angrily. Only one of us will survive, said the silver-haired boy. Damn it, Shine, said the blonde boy and started rushing towards the medical center. Naruto, stop it now, yelled Shin and coughed up more blood. He then gathered all his strength and gave a punch to Naruto. Both the boys lost their balance and fell to the ground. Naruto saw Shin's wounds. He was not a great medic, but he knew the injuries Shin had sustained were serious and there was nothing he could do now. Why did you do it? You are my big brother. I would have gladly died for you, said Naruto, and more tears slipped from his eyes. You and I both know that only one of us can survive. I cannot, cough, let you die. You are, cough, the only one who can stop Danzo, said Shin with a smile. I cannot do this without you, said Naruto sadly. You are too gentle and kind, Naruto, you must kill your emotions, said Shin angrily. Naruto's eyes widened in shock on hearing this. Shin was the one who guided him en route, became his friend, shared the dream of peace with him, and now he was dying in his arms. Naruto couldn't bear this burden anymore. Promise me one thing, asked Shin groggily. His vision was starting to get blurry and his breathing was getting more rough. Anything, said Naruto hurriedly with tears in his eyes. Please take care of Sai, begged Shin. Hi, said Naruto sadly. You, cough, are the savior of this world. I just wish I could have seen the peace I desired, said Shin with a sad smile. Don't die on me, yelled Naruto fearfully. I leave the village to you, protect it, I know, you can, do it, said Shin and patted Naruto's head softly. Shin's eyes started to close and his hand slowly fell to the ground. The last thing he saw was a crying Naruto who was desperately begging him not to die on him. "Forgive me, Naruto." Nissan. Shin's eyes closed never to open again. He had a peaceful smile on his face. Naruto's eyes were filled with more tears. His brother had died by his own hands. He was the one who killed his brother. He was not able to bear the grief. He couldn't breathe. His heartbeat increased and his vision started to get blurry, and his 3-tomo Sharingan immediately changed into a shuriken with its 3 ends sticking to its sides. "I am sorry, Shin." Naruto Hatake. Naruto suddenly woke up and found himself sitting in the academy. He looked around and saw many of the students looking at him amusingly. He wondered what the hell he did now. Then suddenly it hit him like a ton of bricks. It was graduation day. Fuck, thought Naruto when he saw Iruka and Mizuki looking at him a little angrily, and he sure understood the reason why. He was sleeping on the day of his final genin test. The Hokage had changed the laws for becoming a genin on the recommendation of the Jounin commander Nara Shikaku, who happened to be Shikamaru's father. He insisted that instead of letting the students become a genin early, they should be trained properly. As a result, they had an additional extra year of training. The kunoichi were given training in genjutsu while the boys were trained extremely in ninjutsu and taijutsu. Their performance during the entire year was noted by the instructors, and on the basis of that only selected and the best students were allowed to give the genin exams. As a result, the number of students for the exam had been reduced to more than half, as most of the civilian students were not able to qualify. For Naruto, this training was rather boring. In fact, he didn't even call this additional year training in comparison to root training, but he did appreciate this training for the other students. "Naruto, care to explain why you were sleeping?" asked Mizuki angrily. Naruto was so busy in his thoughts that he did not hear Mizuki's question, and only when Sasuke and Sakura gave him a light punch he got out of his stupor. "Huh, did you say something, Mizuki-sensei?" asked Naruto curiously. The entire class laughed loudly on hearing this. Even Iruka chuckled a little while Mizuki was furious. How dare the Kyuubi brat make fun of him? He would show him his place. "Just wait for your exam, Kyuubi," thought Mizuki darkly. "You never change, do you, Naruto?" asked Sakura with a smile. Sakura had indeed changed a lot during the years. No longer was she the annoying bitch of the class. She had matured a lot. She still had a crush on Sasuke, but she never berated anyone. She was also quite skilled in genjutsu. "Sorry, but is it my turn now?" asked Naruto in a calm voice. "Hi," said Sakura with a light chuckle. Naruto groaned on hearing that. The final test was quite different. The future genin had to spar with their Chunin sensei for 2 minutes, and if the sensei felt they were good enough, they would become genin. Naruto saw Mizuki's evil look and understood that he would go all out on him. He was not at all worried. Mizuki was a rat to him who he could defeat even with his eyes closed. He was not an ANBU captain for nothing. "How did your tests go?" asked Naruto to all the rookies. "I passed," boasted Kiba loudly and showed his headband. "Troublesome," said Shikamaru, who had a headband too, while Chuji offered a smile and also showed his headband. Shino just nodded and pointed the headband at his head. "I and Sakura passed too, Naruto-kun," said Ino happily, but also had a light blush on her face. "Me too, Naruto-kun," said Hinata with a blush. Naruto noticed the blushes on Ino and Hinata's faces. He knew what that meant but decided not to comment on it. Sasuke also saw that and snickered. "Shut up, team," growled Naruto. "Just go already, done, or how are you going to beat me? I'm leading, you know, or do you accept that I'm the best?" jabbed Sasuke lightly. HN muttered to Naruto and went off to spar with Mizuki. "I wonder if they are brothers," thought Sakura. 1 minute later. Naruto walked into the classroom. He had his headband wrapped around his left arm. "Iruka-sensei, I think you should go and check on Mizuki-sensei," whispered Naruto in Iruka's ears. Iruka's eyes widened on hearing this. He knew Naruto was far more advanced than a genin. He had even suggested the Hokage in moving him up the ranks quickly, but his suggestion was denied. He quickly rushed towards the training dojo in order to check on Mizuki, his longtime friend. "So did you beat him?" asked Sasuke with a smirk on his face. "I think," shrugged Naruto. Mizuki was already unconscious, the match had ended in 5 seconds. Mizuki didn't even know what happened before a quick chop to his neck ended the match for him. "Let's go party!" yelled Choji cheerfully. "Troublesome, no one wants to eat right now, Choji," said Shikamaru lazily. "Everything's troublesome for you, lazy bum," said Ino and bopped Shikamaru on the head. "It will be fun, man, let's go and check some hot chicks." "There are no hot girls in our class, I hope there will be some at Choji's restaurant," said Kiba stupidly and laughed. Suddenly the entire air was filled with Ki, all the boys turned and saw the girls glaring at Kiba. "What did I do?" asked Kiba in confusion. "Idiot," muttered Shikamaru. Shino and Choji remained silent while Naruto and Sasuke knew what would be coming next and as a result had a smile on their faces. "You don't think that we are hot?" asked Ino with righteous feminine fury in her voice. "You'll pay for that, mutt, Shinaro," yelled Sakura. "That was not very nice, Kiba-kun," whispered Hinata in Kiba's ear in a very sweet voice. Kiba immediately shivered on hearing that. Even Akamaru had run and sat beside Shino. "Shit," cursed Kiba. But before he could flee, 3 angry females jumped on him and started beating him to a pulp. The others watched in amusement as Kiba was being beaten. If it was anything else they would have helped him, but no one messes with 3 angry kunoichi. Apparently Kiba had brought this on himself. Shikamaru thought it was too troublesome, while Choji and Shino didn't want to get involved. Sasuke was bored and Naruto, well, he was just watching it all with an amused expression on his face. "I'll see you guys later," said Naruto and started walking towards the door. "You're not coming?" asked Sakura dejectedly. Naruto was the one who had helped form a friendship between her and Sasuke. From that day they had become quite good friends, but she could never understand Naruto. He was a very mysterious person. "It's always like this. When was the last time you ever spent time with us?" whined Ino and pouted. "You should spend time with us, Naruto-kun," requested Hinata with a warm smile. "Come on, man, it will be fun," said Kiba and Choji together. "For once the mutt's right, Naruto," said Sasuke impassively. Kiba's eyebrows twitched a bit and he was ready to start a fight, but one glance from Ino and Sakura made it clear that it would be wise to stay down or it won't end well for him. Naruto's heart melted on seeing that. He could not see his friends like this, nor did he want to spend time alone. "You must kill your emotions." He could still remember Shin's dying words in his head. Was this the right thing to do? "Naruto, it will hurt more if you do this." "You know it's for the best," advised Kurama sagely. "Right," thought Naruto with renewed determination. "Sorry guys, I have some work to do and I'm running behind schedule a bit," said Naruto apologetically. "Don't give us that bullshit, Naruto, I swear you are just turning out like Kakashi," said Sasuke a little irritatingly. Naruto was acting a lot more strangely these days. In the past he did spend time with his friends, even if it was just a little, but nowadays they hardly saw him. It was as if. "No, he'll not do something like Itachi," thought Sasuke. "Sorry about that. Some other time, okay?" said Naruto with a short smile and went out of the room. Sasuke's eyes widened on hearing this. It was the same line that Itachi had used. He glanced at Shikamaru and Shino. Both the boys were quite comfortable with Sasuke. They had recognized the strange behavior of Naruto. All 3 of them were quite perceptive. As a result, they were able to understand the change in Naruto's behavior which the others failed to notice. The trio shared a look saying, "Something's wrong with him." It was night time in Konoha. Naruto had spent the rest of the day training. He knew he had to sharpen his skills. It would not be easy to take on the Root Division. Even if he had help and did possess the Mangekyo, he would have to be perfect because there would be no second chances. Naruto was walking down in the streets with his hands in his pockets. He was thinking of how he would be able to execute his mission. "Kurama, do you really think I am strong enough to do this?" asked Naruto. "I am sure of it. Your damned eyes are one of the strongest Sharingan I have ever seen. Plus those two jutsu of yours makes you practically invincible, said Kurama with a little frown. He liked Naruto, but that did not mean he accepted his Sharingan. He despised those eyes, but he knew there was nothing he could do. Those jutsu also reduce my eyesight every time I use it, retorted Naruto. Yes, that is the only drawback of the Mangekyo Sharingan. Your eyes have already started showing signs of blindness, said Kurama flatly. I know, sometimes my vision gets a little blurry. Is there any way to stop it? Asked Naruto seriously. None that I know of. Maybe you should talk to the old geezer about it, advised Kurama. No, Gigi will already have enough problems to deal with in a few days. I'll figure something out, said Naruto flatly. That's your problem, said Kurama in an irritated voice. What? Asked Naruto. You do not trust anyone. You think you can do everything alone, you think it is your job to do everything by yourself. You do not even have faith in your friends, said Kurama angrily. Naruto's eyes widened on hearing this. He remembered what Kakashi had told him once. In the ninja world, those who break the rules and laws are regarded as scum, but those who abandon even one of their friends are worse than scum. Naruto closed his eyes as his mind was filled with thoughts of regrets. Am I doing the right thing? Do I really not have faith in my friends? Thought Naruto in confusion. I leave the village to you, protect it. I know you can do it. Naruto's eyes snapped up. He remembered what Shin had told him and what he had promised him, and one thing was certain: he never went back on his words and he never broke any of his promises. You're right, I'm worse than scum, but Shin entrusted the village to me and I will not let my personal feelings get in the way of his dreams, said Naruto fiercely. Do as you wish, said Kurama tiredly. He knew he could not change Naruto's mind. Sometimes he was just as stubborn as his mother. If he had made up his mind, he could not stop him. The only thing he could do was support him. Naruto was walking slowly on the street. His talk with Kurama made him realize something, but he could not back down now. He noticed someone sitting in the dango shop. This person was none other than Anko. Naruto just chuckled and decided to go on. He knew Anko would never get free from her addiction to dango. But then he noticed something which quite shocked him. Anko was staring at the 5 plates of dango on her table and hadn't even eaten a thing. This was indeed alarming. Anko never sat down and just stared at dango. Deciding to find out what was going on, he entered the shop and went towards Anko's table. Yo, what's up? Asked Naruto cheerfully. Anko suddenly got out of her stupor and she bopped Naruto on the head. Ow ow, what was that for? Asked Naruto with mock anger. That was for disturbing me, said Anko a little angrily. I'm sorry, I'll go, said Naruto dejectedly. Wait. What is it? Asked Naruto calmly. He could clearly understand that Anko was disturbed. Sorry Naruto, I'm just disturbed a bit. Please sit, said Anko kindly. What's troubling you? Asked Naruto and sat on the table. Do you think that I'm a bad person? Asked Anko sadly. No, you're not a bad person, said Naruto warmly. You are too kind. Everyone in the village hates me for being that bastard student. I tried to ignore them, but I just said Anko with a few tears in her eyes. Naruto was the closest thing she had as a brother and who could understand her pain, and so she felt comfortable in sharing her feelings with him. Whatever the villagers or anyone else may say, Anko, I think you are a great person, and I'm not saying this because I'm kind but because I know the real Anko, said Naruto and patted Anko's hands. That's not true. Once I kill Orochimaru everyone will accept me, said Anko a little loudly. You are just stuck up in the past. Just like Kakashi-Nissen, said Naruto flatly. You can never understand how I feel, said Anko angrily. I can never understand. I am hated more in this village. I can understand you, but what you are not seeing is that you can still have a better life with the person you love, said Naruto fiercely. What? Asked a shocked Anko. Cut the crap Anko, I know you love Kakashi-Nissen, said Naruto flatly. How do you? Asked an even more shocked Anko. Please, he always talks about you, but like you he is still stuck up in the past and is not able to tell you that he loves you, said Naruto irritatingly. Really? Asked Enko with hope in her eyes. She never imagined she would find anyone who would love her. Yes, I'll talk with him, said Naruto with a smile. Thank you, said Enko with tears in her eyes. She then leaned over the table a bit and kissed Naruto on his forehead. No problem, this is the least I can do for you both, said Naruto with a light blush on his face. You know I think Kurenai loves you, said Enko and winked at Naruto. Naruto spit the water that he was drinking on his table in shock. Enko started laughing loudly on seeing this. The entire incident was quite hilarious for her. Oh man, that was priceless, said Enko cheerfully. HN muttered to Naruto but also was quite happy. I'm serious Naruto, she really loves you, she even said this to me, said Enko happily. That's not true Enko, said Naruto seriously. It is true, you were the one who supported her through her bad phase in life, you even encouraged her to become a jounin, you always took care of her as a friend and not as a student. You are the kind of man she always wanted, explained Enko. This complicates things, thought Naruto with a frown. Do you love her? Asked Enko seriously. Kurenai was her best friend and she would never let anyone hurt her. Doesn't she care about what the villagers would say? I mean she. Said Naruto trying to give an excuse but stopped when Enko put her hand on his mouth. What others say doesn't matter, do you love her or not? Asked Enko seriously. I. Said Naruto hesitantly, what could he say? How much he wanted to say he loved her to the damn world. How much his heart was paining to deny that he loved her. Understanding Naruto's dilemma, Enko put her hand on his hands. Just think about it, I'm not forcing you to choose. We'll cross that bridge when we get there Ototo, said Enko with a wide smile. Thank you Nei-chan, said Naruto with a true smile. Now let's see who can finish this dango first. The loser pays, challenged Enko with a mad grin on her face. You're on. Naruto was going towards his house in order to get some sleep. Tomorrow he would be placed in a genin team and he had to reach there on time. Plus Danzo could summon him anytime, so he decided to get whatever rest he could. His talk with Enko had placed him in a lot of trouble. It would have been fine if he only loved Kurenai, but if what Enko said was true and if Kurenai truly loved him, then he was in deep shit. Fuck, why can't life be simple, thought Naruto. He then suddenly noticed someone moving very quickly in the shadows. Getting curious, Naruto stepped aside and activated his Sharingan. He saw this person was a shinobi as his chakra was visible. Naruto didn't know why, but he felt something was wrong and deciding to act on his instincts, he decided to follow this person. After racing after the person for a few moments, Naruto could see this person was none other than Mizuki and he was carrying a large scroll on his back. This was very suspicious. Naruto already had his doubts on Mizuki. He was the one who always tried to hamper his education at the academy, and to find him heading towards the exits of the village was very alarming. Mizuki then suddenly took a turn and started rushing towards the direction of the forest. This seemed to confuse Naruto. Why would he rush towards the west side of the forest? Asked Kurama curiously. Because it is the hardest way to get out of Konoha. If a prisoner wants to escape without getting much attention, what would he do, Kurama? Asked Naruto sharply. Well, if I was in that place I would choose the hardest way, as most humans would always consider the easiest way, said Kurama after thinking for some time. Yes, I think Mizuki is trying to desert the village. I may be wrong, but we need to find out, said Naruto thoughtfully, and Kurama just nodded. After reaching deeper into the forest, Mizuki stopped and hastily got down in the shade of a tree. He then brought the scroll on his back forward, and this time Naruto could clearly see what was written on that scroll. The Forbidden Scroll, said Naruto calmly. Now all the doubts he had vanished. Mizuki had indeed turned a traitor, as no one was allowed to even touch this scroll without the Hokage's permission. So what are you going to do? Asked Kurama nonchalantly. What I was trained to do. Mizuki was never before so happy in his life. He had finally obtained the Forbidden Scroll. Now all he had to do was take it to Lord Orochimaru and then he would give him the power he was promised. Finally I will get the power I desire and show this village and the Kyuubi brat my true power, thought Mizuki and started laughing. However, his laughter was short-lived when he saw the Kyuubi brat appear before him and was looking at him impassively. Mizuki. Oh, look who's here, the gods must be very happy with me. I can finally kill you after all these years, Kyuubi, said Mizuki with a dark chuckle. Is he nuts? Thought Naruto with a sweat drop. I think so, said Kurama and chuckled. Oh, don't give me that look, you know why the people in this village hate you? Asked Mizuki venomously. I don't care about that, said Naruto stoically. It's because you are the Kyuubi no Yoko, the demon that almost destroyed our village is you, said Mizuki and laughed madly. Naruto, I don't care what you do with the scroll, but I want this man dead, demanded Kurama angrily. Can't do that, Kurama, but I can make him suffer, but before that I need to find out why he stole this scroll, said Naruto. Whatever, said Kurama irritatingly. Are you done? Asked Naruto in a bored tone. What? Asked a shocked Mizuki. He thought that the boy would break down, but it seemed he was not affected at all. I already know what is sealed in me, but I am Naruto of Konoha and nothing you say would ever change that. Now tell me, why did you steal the forbidden scroll? I don't think you are alone in this treachery, said Naruto flatly. I must give you credit, you are indeed smart, but also you are a fool. But don't worry, when I tell Lord Orochimaru that I killed you and give him the forbidden scroll, he will give me great power and I will show everyone how strong I am, said Mizuki madly. Orochimaru, huh? Sorry Kurama, I need to get him to the Hokage, he might contain important information on that snake, said Naruto. TCH, said Kurama and cut off the connection. Mizuki then suddenly charged towards Naruto with impressive speed and plunged a kunai right through Naruto's chest. This is the end for you, Kyuubi, said Mizuki victoriously. I don't think so, said a voice behind Mizuki. Mizuki turned around and saw Naruto holding a kunai at his neck. He then immediately turned and saw the Naruto which he had stabbed disappeared into crows. How did he do it? Thought Mizuki, but couldn't think further when the Naruto behind him blasted and he was electrified as he was in the radius of the blast. A Raiton Bunshin were Mizuki's last thoughts before he collapsed on the ground and drifted into unconsciousness. The real Naruto came into the field and went towards Mizuki's unconscious body. Well, that was too easy, said Naruto tiredly. He thought Mizuki would have put up a fight, but his skills were rusty for a chunin. Naruto then immediately sealed Mizuki's body into a storage scroll and went to pick up the forbidden scroll. Naruto picked the forbidden scroll and Mizuki's body scroll and disappeared with his crow Shunshin. Hiruzen was getting quite worried at the moment. The reason was he had just received reports that the forbidden scroll had been stolen. That scroll contained many of the secrets of the village, and if placed in the wrong hands then it would be a disaster. As a result, he had sent out many ANBU squads in order to catch the culprit and retrieve the scroll. If word got out that such an important thing was stolen, then there could be mass panic in the village. Hiruzen was brought out of his thoughts when he saw a flock of crows appear in his office. He knew who this person was and as a result made a hand sign for his ANBU guards to leave the room and activated the silencing seals. You know, your way is a little creepy, said Hiruzen lightly with a laugh. Regardless, I have retrieved the forbidden scroll and the person who stole it, reported Naruto. Who was it? How do you know it was stolen in the first place? Asked Hiruzen sternly. It was Mizuki. I caught him escaping from the village and with this scroll, so I assumed he was stealing it as no one was allowed to even touch this scroll without your permission, said Naruto strictly. Good work. Do you know why he stole it? Asked Hiruzen. He said something about Orochimaru. I recommend him to be taken to the interrogation department and questioned properly. He might contain some valuable information, said Naruto firmly. Hiruzen's eyes widened on hearing this. Anything related to Orochimaru was a major threat to the village. His wayward student was always a pain in the ass. I'm getting too old for this shit, thought Hiruzen with a frown. He wanted to name the fifth Hokage as soon as possible, but Jiraiya had refused and was not in the village, and Tsunade had also left the village. And so he had to deal with all the problems at such an old age. Naruto then laid the forbidden scroll and the scroll which contained Mizuki's body on Hiruzen's desk. "What is Danzo up to?" asked Hiruzen suddenly. "I have not received any further instructions or missions from HQ, headquarters, or Danzo. My last orders were to remain discreet and follow whatever orders you give in order to gain your trust. But if my instincts are right, it will happen soon," explained Naruto. "Good job, I know it must be painful for you." "Are you sure you can do this?" asked Hiruzen with deep concern in his voice. "Hi Hokage-sama," said Naruto without any hesitation in his voice. Hiruzen sighed on hearing this. He knew what he was doing was the right thing to do as a Hokage, but it was still very painful for him to see Naruto suffer so much. "You didn't peek in this scroll, did you?" asked Hiruzen authoritatively. "It is none of my business to look into it," said Naruto flatly. "Good," said Hiruzen proudly. "You truly deserve to be an ANBU captain, you know what it means to be a true shinobi," thought Hiruzen. Gigi, I need your help with something," said Naruto with little hesitation in his voice. "What is it?" asked Hiruzen curiously. Naruto then explained what he wanted to do. Hiruzen was quite surprised by Naruto's plan and was also proud of the boy whom he considered as his own grandson. "You are indeed a nice person, Naruto," said Hiruzen kindly with a warm smile. "It's the least I can do," said Naruto with a smile. "Gigi, I think I should tell my team about my Sharingan," said Naruto firmly. "You think it's the right time?" asked Hiruzen cautiously. "Yes, if I don't tell my teammates the truth, then it may lead to some blunder during a mission and may cause serious damage. In order to work efficiently as a team, teammates should trust each other, and it won't be possible if I hide necessary information from them," explained Naruto. "I leave it to your judgment. But word of advice, Naruto, tell it only if it is extremely necessary and if you trust your teammates," warned Hiruzen. "Hi Hokage-sama," said Naruto. Next day. It was very early in the morning in Konoha. The sun had not risen yet and the village was looking quite peaceful in the last part of the night. Naruto was sitting on the banks of the Naka River. He had a cigarette in his hands and was enjoying sitting beside the river. He didn't know why, but he found this place to be one of the most beautiful places in Konoha. He felt peaceful here. Looking at the cigarette, he didn't know why he had started smoking. Perhaps it was his way to deal with the horrors he had seen in the shinobi world. He was not sure about it. His thoughts drifted back to what Anko had told him. He couldn't describe how much happy he felt when Anko said Kurenai loved him. In that moment he felt that he had achieved everything in the world if he had Kurenai with him, but that happiness soon turned into despair when he realized that they could never be together, at least not in this life. He still remembered how close they had gotten over these years. Flashback. Naruto was going towards the memorial stone. He always used to visit this stone in order to pay respects to his parents and Shin. Even though Shin's name was never listed on this memorial, for Naruto he was a hero and always will be. It was close to midnight and Naruto knew there would be no one who would be present at the memorial stone at this hour. This was what he liked most about living with Kakashi. The man gave Naruto all the freedom he wanted. He could go anywhere he wanted. He had the freedom to come home whenever he wanted. Kakashi was really a carefree guy who just wanted Naruto to live his life in his own way and not according to Kakashi's own wishes. Naruto was surprised to see someone standing in front of the memorial stone. Who could be here at this hour, thought Naruto curiously. He went a little closer and was surprised to see his best friend and mentor standing there. The person was none other than Kurenai. She was kneeling in front of the memorial stone and her soft hands traced towards a specific spot on the stone. A few tears came in her eyes. Naruto understood why she was here and decided to give her some time alone to gather her feelings. Now some people would call him heartless for not consoling Kurenai, but rather than making her feel more sorry, Naruto wanted her to vent out her feelings. So with that he just stepped in the shadows waiting for Kurenai to finish expressing her feelings. But it seemed fate had other plans for him. "You can come out now, Naruto," said Kurenai in a soft voice. "I guess I can never hide from you, Kurenai-chan," said Naruto warmly. "What are you doing here?" asked Kurenai softly and wiped away the tears coming from her eyes. "Me? Nah. A black cat crossed my path and I had to take a different route to go towards my house," joked Naruto in a cheerful tone. He was trying to not make Kurenai feel more sad. "You were never good at making excuses, you know that," said Kurenai with a small smile on his face. Naruto saw Kurenai's smile. She just looked so beautiful when she smiled, and her appearance in the moonlight made her look more angelic. Naruto blushed a little on seeing Kurenai's beauty, but then he also saw her sad face. "I came here to pay my respects towards my parents," said Naruto and stood beside Kurenai. "You know who your parents are?" asked Kurenai curiously. She never knew Naruto knew about the identity of his parents. She always wondered if Naruto was somehow related to the fourth Hokage, but was not sure about that. "No, I don't know, but Gigi said he would tell me when the time was right. He said they were good people who gave their lives for this village," said Naruto sadly. He knew who his parents were. Danzo had told him everything, but it was not the right time to tell Kurenai about them. "I'm sorry," said Kurenai sadly and put a hand on Naruto's shoulder. "Please don't be." They knew what they had to do as a shinobi and they did their duty. "We are shinobi and it is our duty to protect our village. I'm a little sad that they are not here, but more than that I'm proud to be their son. If not for them and these countless heroes on this stone, we would not be having such a peaceful life in this village," explained Naruto. Kurenai was amazed by the mature thinking that Naruto had shown. It also showed her how much she liked Naruto. "I came here to pay respects to my parents too," said Kurenai in a sad voice. "They must have been great people," said Naruto with a smile. "Yeah," said Kurenai solemnly. "What were their names?" asked Naruto gently. "Kazuhiko Yuhi and Takon Yuhi," said Kurenai with a small smile. She was amazed by what Naruto did next. He traced the name of her parents on the stone and gave a deep bow in order to show them respect. "Thank you for sacrificing your day in order to give us a better future. I also thank you for giving me the best friend I have, your beautiful daughter Kurenai," said Naruto with a wide smile. Kurenai's cheeks flushed red. She knew she was good looking, but no one had ever truly called her beautiful from their hearts. Many men had called her beautiful just to have fun with her, but Naruto was a different person. "Do you really mean that?" asked Kurenai in a shaky voice. A few tears had already started to form in her eyes. Naruto looked at Kurenai. He could see the desire in her eyes. The feeling to be wanted, the feeling to be called one's best friend. He could see everything in her eyes. "You are the best thing that has ever happened to me, Kurenai," said Naruto romantically. Naruto was surprised when he was engulfed in a bone-crushing hug by Kurenai. He could feel the warmth of her body. He could feel the silent tears that were falling on his shoulders. He just felt as if this was what he always wanted, a person whom he could love with all his heart. Someone who could understand him and just love him for what he was. Not as a Jinchuriki, not as the fourth son, only just as Naruto. He suddenly realized that he had found that person. Kurenai was everything he ever wanted. She was caring, brave, and most of all she understood him and was always there to support him. She indeed was also very patient. It was a very difficult task of teaching him genjutsu. There were times when he just wanted to quit and be done with it, but Kurenai never lost hope in him. She always encouraged him to be better. She never gave up on him, and she didn't care what the villagers thought about both of them. Naruto felt a few tears rise up in his eyes. Kurenai had done so much for him and hadn't even asked for anything in return. His hands slowly reached up and gently took Kurenai's waist in his hands and pressed her closer to him. Kurenai did not back away but hugged Naruto more tightly, pressing her breasts more closely to his chest. Naruto felt that he was finally complete, that his life finally had a purpose. Meanwhile, Kurenai was going through a series of emotions. She was feeling more happy with each passing moment. With Naruto she felt needed. he appreciated her, cared for her, was always kind to her, and even though she was one of the most beautiful women in Konoha, on whom every man would like to get their hands on, Naruto never tried to take advantage of her. For the entire village she was the Ice Queen, but with Naruto she could be herself without any hesitation. She could be Kurenai, and not a sensei, not a shinobi, just a simple girl. Naruto always supported her. He never gave her false consolations, nor did he just flatter her in order to flirt with her, and most of all he never judged her for her beauty or skill, but just as Kurenai. They both stayed like that for a very long time, enjoying each other's company and the feeling of love between both of them. After a few minutes Kurenai gently eased the hug a little so she could come face to face with Naruto. He was easily at her height and his well-toned body was also providing her the warmth in the cold night. She didn't know what took her over, but she gently lifted Naruto's mask from his neck and uncovered it up to his lips. She then gently wrapped her hands softly around his neck and crashed her lips against his. Naruto didn't know what happened. He was just looking at Kurenai's lovely ruby red eyes when he suddenly sensed someone's soft lips kissing him. He looked up in Kurenai's eyes and saw her eyes full of love and a little bit lust. He suddenly felt a warm feeling rush over his entire body, and acting on his instincts he quickly kissed Kurenai back lovingly. Kurenai was a little surprised by Naruto's sudden action but allowed him more access to her mouth, with their tongues wildly fighting for dominance. The passionate kiss continued for a few minutes until Kurenai broke it. Naruto looked at her worriedly. He just realized what had happened. "Fuck, what have I done?" thought Naruto frantically. "It sure was fun," commented Kurama with a chuckle. "Shut up, Kurama," said an irritated Naruto. "What did I do?" thought Kurama. "Kurenai. I'm sorry, I didn't mean dash," said Naruto quickly, trying to stop an argument but was silenced when Kurenai placed a finger on his now exposed lips. "I'm sorry, I'm the one who kissed you," said Kurenai softly, but also had a large blush on her face. "Do you?" asked Naruto quite hesitantly, dreading the answer he would get would either make him the happiest man alive or send him into a world of misery. "Please give me some time," requested Kurenai gently. She looked at Naruto straight in his eyes to show him that she was serious and was not joking with him. Naruto didn't know what to say. His heart was breaking into a million pieces. Danzo had already announced the invasion and the role he had to play in it. Naruto knew if that happened then his mission was to eliminate the entire Root ANBU Black Ops. If he went with that mission, he would never be able to have a life with Kurenai. He averted his gaze from her, unable to hide the tears that were forming up in his eyes. This was one of the worst pains he had felt after Shin's death. Kurenai saw Naruto's downcast look and thought that Naruto was heartbroken, and she immediately hugged him tightly and started rubbing his back. "Naruto, I swear I don't want to hurt you. I just need some time to understand my feelings about us," said Kurenai warmly. "I understand," said Naruto and hugged her back. He didn't know what to say to her. They both stayed like that for a few moments until Naruto broke the hug. He then placed his mask back on. "You have a very handsome face, Naruto, why don't you show it to me?" asked Kurenai playfully, trying to bring things back to normal. "I promise I'll show you my face someday, but not right now," requested Naruto. Kurenai gave a small nod. She knew she had to be patient and let Naruto be comfortable. "So how does it feel now that you've become a jounin?" asked Naruto curiously and pointed a finger at Kurenai's flak jacket. "It is indeed quite hectic. The missions have increased, but the payment also has increased. I just wish that I can fulfill my responsibilities properly," said Kurenai with a little doubt in her voice. "Don't worry, I know you can do it. You are the best," said Naruto and gave an eye smile. "Thank you, you were the one who encouraged me to become a jounin. You never lost faith in me. I don't know what I would have done without you," said Kurenai sadly. Naruto gently took her hands and rubbed them gently. He then lifted her chin so that she could look into his blue eyes. "I could say the same for you." "Thank you for everything," said Naruto with a wide smile. "You're welcome. I think we should go, it's getting pretty late," suggested Kurenai. "You're right," said Naruto and gave Kurenai one last hug which she returned happily. "Goodbye Naruto," said Kurenai and disappeared in a shunshin. "Goodbye, Kurenai," said Naruto with a single tear dropping from his eyes. He too then disappeared with a shunshin. Flashback end. A small smile came on Naruto's face as he remembered the incident between him and Kurenai. It had been a few days and he did not bother Kurenai because whatever answer she would give him would break his heart. If Kurenai did not love him, then his heart would break because he truly loved her, but at the same time he would also feel a little happy as Kurenai won't be much upset when he would execute his mission. She would be sad, but one day she could move on with her life and find someone with whom she could happily spend her life. As long as she was happy, Naruto would feel happy because her happiness was all that mattered to him. But if what Anko had told him was true and if she did love him, then it was a major problem. Naruto didn't want to think what would happen if Kurenai found out what he was about to do. He was suddenly interrupted from his thoughts when a figure came and sat beside him. Naruto didn't need to turn around to see who it was. It was none other than Sai, his friend and comrade en route. He was wearing his ANBU gear and had a tanto strapped on his back. His face was hidden by his bird ANBU mask, but his silky black hair was clearly visible and so were his black eyes. Sai was one of his close friends, they had trained together en route, they both had shared a deep bond with Shin. "You know smoking is not good for your health," suggested Sai. "I know, but it just helps me calm down," said Naruto carelessly. "You are always too stubborn, Naruto," said Sai irritatingly. "So what orders have you got?" asked Naruto, still looking in the river. "Naruto, HQ has made almost all the preparations for the coup," said Sai firmly. "What are my orders?" asked Naruto stoically. "Danzo was quite pleased when you returned the Forbidden Scroll safely to Hiruzen-sama. He believes that not only you did a great service to Konoha but also gained a lot of trust in Sandaime-sama," explained Sai. "I see," responded Naruto silently. "He wants you to gain more trust in Sandaime-sama and do whatever he wants you to do. Also keep your skills in check as the entire invasion depends on you," informed Sai without any emotions. Naruto just gave a nod in response, not bothering to hear anything more. "Do you still blame yourself for his death?" asked Sai softly. He knew how much of a brother Shin was to Naruto, in fact Shin was more close to Naruto than him. Sai was never good at emotions, he was always trying to understand people. And as such he couldn't understand what Naruto was feeling. "Yes, his blood will always be on my hands," said Naruto regretfully. "That is not true, Naruto. Shin Nissen gave his life willingly for you. He believed that you were the one who could stop Danzo and save our village," explained Sai. "I know that, but it could never change the fact that he died by my sword. I killed my own elder brother," said Naruto sadly. "I miss him too," said Sai sadly. "Sai, you don't have to do this. You don't have to take part in this mission with me. I could talk with Gigi, you can have a life," requested Naruto. He had promised Shin that he would take care of Sai, he had accepted his fate, but he did not want the same thing to happen to Sai. "Shin was like a brother to me too. Danzo is responsible for his death and I cannot forgive him. More than that, he will destroy the village and that is something I cannot allow. I know what you promised Shin, but I have a right to choose my own path," said Sai firmly. "Do you blame me for his death?" "I can understand if you do," said Naruto regretfully. "I can never blame you for what happened, you are like a brother to me, Naruto. I know you would have died gladly for Shin. You should not blame yourself for his death," explained Sai. Naruto didn't respond, he just remained silent. Sai just gave a tired sigh, he knew no matter what he said Naruto wouldn't stop blaming himself for Shin's death, he just wished one day Naruto could stop blaming himself. "Danzo also ordered you to keep your emotions in check. You seem to be getting a lot closer with the Genjutsu mistress," said Sai carefully. He knew Kurenai was a sensitive subject for Naruto and as such didn't want to hurt his feelings. "I can take care of myself and my emotions, tell him I can handle it," said Naruto firmly and gave Sai a firm gaze. "Understood," said Sai stoically. "How many days are left before the coup?" asked Naruto seriously. 2 months, said Sai firmly. I see, said Naruto with no emotion in his voice. Naruto, have you made up your mind yet? Asked Sai seriously. Naruto just remained silent. He looked at the river. It appeared to be peaceful. He then suddenly picked up a large stone and threw it into the river. The water got distorted with the force which the stone had hit. Waves of water rushed in different directions. To any other normal person it would seem that Naruto had just casually thrown a stone in the river, but not for Sai. He clearly understood Naruto's message. If the coup happens, then the village would suffer the same result as the river. No matter what happens, Naruto, I've got your back. I won't abandon you and I will fight beside you till the end, said Sai and held out his fist, which Naruto punched gently. Thank you, Sai, said Naruto with a short smile. The situation is extremely fragile, Naruto. We must act quickly before it's too late, said Sai in a concerned voice. I realize that. Sai heard the determined tone in Naruto's voice. It was one of things that he was fond of. Naruto was always confident in what he did. He was a good leader and Sai would follow his ANBU captain till the end. I shall settle this with my own hands, said Naruto and looked at Sai with his Mangekyo Sharingan. A lone figure could be seen standing in front of the famous memorial stone of Konoha. It was early in the morning and the sun had just started rising up, marking the beginning of a new day. However, it was just another day for the famous Kakashi Hatake. Kakashi was one of the most skilled shinobi of the Leaf Village. He was Genin by 6, Chunin by 8 and a Jounin by the age of 13. He was the youngest ANBU captain in the Black Ops forces of Konoha after Itachi Uchiha. He was famous in the entire world as the hero of the Sharingan and the man who mastered a 1000 jutsu. He was said to be invincible. Many would give everything they have to achieve such honorable feats. But for Kakashi this meant nothing. He considered his life nothing but a failure and always blamed himself for the mistakes he made in the past. He blamed himself for the death of his father, he blamed himself for his best friend Obito's untimely death, he never forgave himself for letting his other best friend Rin die, and finally he felt guilty for not being able to save his sensei Minato Namikaze. He always considered himself trash for being unable to save those precious to him. What good were his skills and intelligence when the people he loved died in front of his eyes and he could do nothing? The only thing Kakashi considered he had done good in his life was adopting Naruto and raising him. The boy was the closest thing Kakashi had as a family. Naruto was the best brother he could have wished for. No matter what happened and how lazy or boring Kakashi was, Naruto always stood by his side. He brought joy to Kakashi's life. The boy did everything which Kakashi had asked him to do. He was a true prodigy, even greater than his own father, the fourth Hokage, Minato Namikaze. Kakashi doubted that even Minato was so powerful at Naruto's age. Naruto was a master in ninjutsu. He had learned and perfected every jutsu which Kakashi had taught him. The speed at which he learned was astonishing. The boy had even learned Kakashi's prized technique, the Chidori, in 2 days. Kakashi could still remember that day. Flashback. Kakashi and Naruto were standing in the forest of death. Naruto had matured greatly and Kakashi felt it was time for him to give Naruto a gift. He had thought about teaching Naruto the Rasengan, as it was Naruto's birthright, but had dismissed that idea because he wanted Jiraiya to teach him that jutsu as his godfather. Thinking of Jiraiya, Kakashi felt his anger escalate a little. The man was supposed to be Naruto's godfather, yet the man had never even visited Naruto even once in his life, nor had he even written a letter to Naruto saying that he was alive and was his godfather. That would have at least made the boy happy that he had someone there for him. So Nissen, what are you going to teach me today? Asked Naruto curiously. I am going to teach you my Chidori, said Kakashi with a smile. About damn time, said Naruto a little happily. Kakashi had been delaying teaching him the Chidori for months, saying that he was not mature enough. Naruto had kept his promise and had tried to teach Kakashi his Yami no Sekai no Jutsu, World of Darkness, but Kakashi was unsuccessful in learning it. The reason was, first of all, it required a lot of stamina, which only someone of the Uchiha clan could have. And Kakashi's Sharingan was not his own. As a result, it was already taking a lot of chakra to keep the Sharingan active, and any more strain on his eyes could be harmful. So Kakashi did not learn that genjutsu, but he was indeed thankful to Naruto for trying to teach him. Naruto, this is a very dangerous assassination technique. If you make a single mistake, you could damage your hand badly. You may even lose the ability to mold chakra if you do it carelessly, warned Kakashi strictly. He needed to make sure Naruto understood the dangers. The response he got was quite surprising. Naruto activated his 3-tomo Sharingan and gave Kakashi a determined look. "I'll master it in 2 days," said Naruto confidently. "What makes you so sure of it?" "It took me 1 full year to master it." "I'm not doubting your abilities, but don't you think you are being too hasty?" suggested Kakashi. "I can do it," said Naruto firmly. "We'll see. Now tell me, what do you know about the tree and water walking exercises?" asked Kakashi seriously. "Well, with the tree walking you learn how to focus chakra in specific amounts to a certain chakra point in your body, and with water walking you dispel chakra at the same time in proper amounts." "Why do you ask this?" "I have already mastered those exercises," said Naruto confusedly. "Precisely, you have mastered those exercises, that is why you can learn this technique. You have to channel lightning chakra into your hands. Too much and it will burn your hands, too less and the jutsu won't occur. When you gather such chakra, it will become visible like this," said Kakashi, and activated his Chidori. Naruto's Sharingan could clearly see the steady flow of lightning chakra into Kakashi's right hand. It was flowing there with great speed and in specific quantities. "Also Naruto, this is just the beginning of this jutsu. It can be made into an S-ranked jutsu called the Raikiri. But before I tell you that, you must first learn Chidori. Start practicing it," instructed Kakashi. Naruto was fascinated by the concept of learning an S-ranked ninjutsu. They were one of the most deadly and effective ninjutsu which only a few shinobi could master. Now Naruto's resolve increased more than before to learn the Chidori. Kage Bunshin no Jutsu, Shadow Clone Technique. Immediately 300 shadow clones appeared in the field. All the clones had a determined look on their faces. Kakashi smacked his forehead. How could he forget? "He has 10 times more chakra than me, and with his shadow clones he can master almost any jutsu in a very short time," thought Kakashi with a little pride. He was very pleased to have such a magnificent student like Naruto. "Sensei, if he accomplishes this jutsu in 2 days, then I think he will surpass you," thought Kakashi happily. Naruto and all his own clones started channeling lightning chakra into their hands. Many of the clones perished when they couldn't concentrate the right amount of chakra and blew themselves up. However, Naruto did not lose hope. He continued his concentration and focused on the flow of chakra in his hands with his Sharingan. A small amount of lightning started forming in Naruto and some of his clones' hands. Naruto could feel a lot of his chakra drain. Maintaining these many clones with his Sharingan active was extremely taxing. "If I keep this up for more than a few hours, I'll drain myself," thought Naruto with a little sweat dripping from his forehead. Kakashi was impressed that Naruto had started to get the hand of the jutsu so early. He was far from even performing it satisfactorily, but with the training Naruto was doing, Kakashi was amazed by the stamina Naruto had. The Uzumaki clan was truly something else, and so were the Uchiha. And if he is a true Namikaze-like sensei, then his speed would be unparalleled, which is required for this jutsu, thought Kakashi analytically. Naruto continued his training for 2 hours continuously. He could now gather his lightning chakra in some amount in his palm. He could feel the power of the jutsu. Almost 100 of his clones had perished in the effort, while many of the remaining were drained of chakra and had started to dispel. The overload hit Naruto pretty hard and he fell on one knee. Kakashi immediately stepped forward and grabbed Naruto's hand. "That's enough, you'll tire yourself out. You have performed far better than I expected. I doubt even the 4th Hokage could do such a thing in such a short time," complimented Kakashi with an eye smile. Kakashi expected Naruto to smile but was shocked, and he saw hatred in Naruto's eyes, and it was a lot of hatred. Naruto's ki escalated highly and he glared at Kakashi firmly. "Naruto, what's wrong?" asked Kakashi hesitantly. "I will surpass him," said Naruto fiercely. He then gathered a large amount of lightning chakra in his hands, many of clones dispelled in an instant, but Naruto didn't care. He had forgiven his father, he had never forgotten what he had done to him, he had sealed a biju in him and condemned him to a fate worse than death. Naruto did not want revenge, but he felt bitter when someone talked about how skilled his father was. It made him feel weak. Maybe he was being naive, but he wanted to surpass his father and show it to everyone that he was better than the fourth Hokage. Meanwhile, Kakashi was shocked to see Naruto's reaction. It was as if his fatigue had vanished, the fierce look of determination in Naruto's eyes and all that hatred he had scared him a little. Hiruzen had explained it to him that the Uchiha's power came from feelings of anger, bitterness, despair, and worst of all, hatred. Their power of love was as equally strong as their hatred. Kakashi knew how Naruto felt. It was the same as it was with his father, the White Fang Tsukumo Hatake. Kakashi always felt that he was weak in comparison to his father, and he always tried to surpass him. He even created the Chidori on his own. He could understand what Naruto felt. He was trying to surpass the fourth, who was said to be the greatest hero of the village, and he could also understand Naruto's hatred. He is still an Uchiha, these feelings will always be within him. "I just hope he doesn't get lost in his hatred," prayed Kakashi. Kakashi's eyes widened on seeing what was in front of his eyes. Naruto had a perfect Chidori in his hand and speedily charged towards a nearby tree. His speed was good, and with the force with which his jutsu made contact was astonishing. There was a large hole in the tree and Naruto's hand had passed right through it. Naruto was panting heavily, all of his chakra had drained and his vision started to get blurry, and before passing out he gave a little thumbs up to Kakashi. "He learned my Chidori, and what power! I think he will master it." He wasn't bluffing at all. "Naruto, what are you?" thought a shocked Kakashi. The boy was a powerhouse who could become the greatest shinobi or the worst disaster. Flashback end. True to his word, Naruto learned the Chidori in 2 days. For the next 3 weeks Kakashi had worked to increase Naruto's speed, and the boy proved him right once again. His speed was far greater than Kakashi's own speed, as expected from the son of the fourth Hokage and the heir of the Namikaze clan. Naruto was now able to perform the Chidori without any hand signs. One of the reasons Kakashi had taught this jutsu to Naruto was because Naruto had great speed and power. True, this jutsu was lethal, but without speed it was useless. But Naruto had mastered the Chidori and was now constantly practicing the Raikiri to master it. Kakashi knew that when he would die he would at least be satisfied that he made Naruto a strong shinobi of Konoha and did his duty towards his sensei. "Thought I'd find you here," said a very familiar voice. "Speak of the devil," thought Kakashi with a chuckle. "What brings you here, Naruto?" asked Kakashi, still looking at the stone. "Why do you always come here?" asked Naruto curiously. Kakashi looked at Naruto. The boy had grown up in mind as well as in body. Kakashi decided that it was finally time for Naruto to learn the truth. "I have done many mistakes in my life, Naruto. Some of them had very bad results and I lost my best friends," said Kakashi sadly. "Would you like to talk about it?" asked Naruto softly and put a hand on Kakashi's shoulder. Kakashi gave a grateful nod in return and decided to let Naruto know about his pain. "Because of my mistake my best friend died," said Kakashi, shocking Naruto to the core. He just stared at Kakashi patiently. He knew he had to let Kakashi adjust his feelings. It was also painful for him to talk about Shin. "From my childhood I always looked up to my father. He was a great shinobi, far stronger than the Sannin, but an incident happened that changed our lives," said Kakashi sadly. "What happened?" asked Naruto hesitantly. "He and his team were sent to a top-secret mission behind enemy lines. I still don't know what mission it was, but it was very important for our village and the Fire Country. But things didn't go as planned and my father was faced with two choices, either complete the mission and let his comrades die, or save his comrades and fail the mission. He did the latter, explained Kakashi. Naruto's eyes widened on hearing this. He knew what Black Ops missions were. He himself had performed a few covert operations behind enemy lines. He dreaded thinking about what would have happened to Tsukumo. Things didn't go well, didn't they? Asked Naruto silently, already estimating the answer would not be good. They didn't. He rescued his comrades but the mission failed. As a result the village had to suffer few losses. All the shinobi and the villagers blamed my father and ostracized him. Even those comrades which he had saved turned their backs against him. My father suffered depression and ultimately took his own life, finished Kakashi. I'm sorry for your loss, Nissan, said Naruto sadly. He couldn't imagine how badly it would have affected Kakashi. What do you think of his actions, Naruto? Asked Kakashi curiously. As a shinobi I think he made a tough call, but before being shinobi, we are human, we should always follow what our heart tells us. What others say doesn't matter as long as you believe you are doing the right thing, nothing matters. Your father cherished his comrades and saved their lives. For me he is a hero because betraying your comrades is betraying yourself, said Naruto firmly. Kakashi stared at Naruto. He could see in Naruto's eyes that he believed in what he had said. Thank you, Naruto. After that I dedicated my life to rules and regulations. I did all things necessary for the mission and killed my emotions. I was an ass at that time and it took my best friend's life to make me realize that I was wrong, said Kakashi sadly. What happened with your friend? What was his name? Asked Naruto curiously. His name was Obito Uchiha. He was very different from his clan. He was more like Konohamaru. He bragged on and on about how he would become Hokage and always made excuses for arriving late, said Kakashi with a chuckle. He must have been a good person, said Naruto with a smile. I always taunted him for being weak. He had not awakened his Sharingan but he really cared about the team. My sensei and my other teammate Rin always tried to be a peacemaker in the team, said Kakashi with a warm smile as he remembered old times. What happened to Obito? Asked Naruto cautiously. We were on a mission behind enemy lines. I was the team captain. Our mission was to destroy a bridge which the enemy was using. But somehow the enemy captured Rin. I wanted to continue the mission instead of rescuing Rin, said Kakashi with shame evident in his voice. Let me guess, Obito had other plans, suggested Naruto. Yes, he wanted to rescue Rin, and we had a little fight over that matter. In the end Obito went to save Rin while I decided to continue the mission, explained Kakashi. Did you go after Rin? Asked Naruto with a frown. He did not like that behavior of Kakashi. Yes, I realized my mistake and I teamed up with Obito. We faced a Jounin from IWA in battle and my left eye was destroyed in the battle, said Kakashi. What happened next? Asked a shocked Naruto. Obito somehow awakened the Sharingan and killed the Jounin. We then went and faced another Jounin and were able to subdue him and rescue Rin. But somehow the Jounin regained consciousness and he brought the cave down crashing. We rushed towards the cave but with my defective sense of vision I was about to get hit. Said Kakashi but stopped after that. He saved you, didn't he? Said Naruto sadly. Yes, but he got hit by the rock in my place. I was devastated by this. I never considered Obito my friend but he sacrificed himself for me. He also gave me his Sharingan, explained Kakashi. He gave you his Sharingan? Asked a shocked Naruto. He could now understand why the Sharingan was so important for Kakashi. It was a memento of his best friend. I cannot forgive myself for his death. If I could have gone with him from the start things might have been different. I wasn't even able to protect Rin and she died too, said Kakashi sadly with a tear dropping from his right eye. Nissan, I know it must be painful but you have to move on. You cannot stay like this. Obito and Rin wouldn't want you to live like this. By doing this you are not only punishing yourself but also making their sacrifices useless, said Naruto firmly. What should I do? I have nothing left in my life. I have failed everyone, said Kakashi sadly. No, you have not failed anyone. Your father would be proud of you for the man you have become, one who values his comrades. Obito gave his life to save you because he considered you a friend, and any good friend would do that. His death was not your fault and Rin's death was unfortunate. Besides, you have me. If not for you, I would have been left to rot in this village. You saved me, gave me a better future, made me a strong shinobi. Kakashi Hatake, you are a good man and a hero of this village, said Naruto proudly and gave Kakashi a wide smile. You believe that? Asked a shocked Kakashi. Yes, and there is one more person who loves you and believes in you more than me, said Naruto, shocking Kakashi again. Who is it? Asked Kakashi innocently. Cut the crap, you and I both know that you love Anko. And don't try to deny that I know you better, warned Naruto. Sigh, yes, I do love her, said Kakashi tiredly. Then why are you not telling her? Asked Naruto irritatingly. I don't want to lose her. Every close person in my life has died, I don't want her to be cursed by being with him, said Kakashi sadly. That's a lame excuse, you cannot control your future. We are shinobi, we may die today, but you should follow your heart. I am close to you and I am not dead yet, and neither is Anko or your other friends, besides she loves you too, said Naruto with a true smile. She does? Asked a shocked Kakashi. Yeah, I think you should propose to her. Here, take it, said Naruto and took out a ring from his pocket. It was a platinum ring with a little diamond on it. Naruto, I cannot take this, where did you get the money for this? Asked a curious Kakashi. INGG have it covered, it's the least I can do for what you have done for me. Besides, Anko is the only woman in this village who will allow you to read your Ika, said Naruto with a smirk. In truth, he had made good money from his missions en route and with a little advice from Hiruzen had bought this ring. Really? Asked Kakashi with stars in his eyes. I think so, said Naruto with a shrug. My precious, we will forever be together, yelled Kakashi and hugged his book with anime tears dropping from his eyes. Is he really an adult? Thought Naruto with a sweat drop. Well, take it and propose to her, or I'll burn down every single one of your Ika, make you read its yaoi version in my genjutsu, and will have Anko's snakes kick your ass, threatened Naruto playfully. I'll do it, but don't harm my precious, begged Kakashi. Just do it already, said Naruto tiredly. He then wished Kakashi good luck and went towards the academy for his graduation day. If he had looked carefully, he could have seen the biggest smile on Kakashi's face. Only 2 words could describe Naruto's mood right now: fucking boring. He was sitting in the academy, and was listening to Irika's boring speech for the past few minutes. Many of the students were excited as they were finally becoming a genin and starting their path of shinobi. Naruto could understand their feelings, but he was already an ANBU captain and knew how harsh the shinobi world was, but for now these students should enjoy this moment. Alright, now I'll announce the top 10 students of this year and in which teams they shall be placed, announced Irika loudly. Everyone paid attention, even Naruto was curious. Sasuke and Sakura were sitting beside him. In a way, these two were his best friends in the academy. Sure, he was friends with the rest, the only ones with whom he was close were Shikamaru, Ino and Kiba. Shino was his friend but didn't talk much, and Hinata was a weirdo. She tried to talk but always remained silent. Chuji was always busy eating. The 10th place goes to Ichigo. The 9th place goes to Shikamaru. The 8th place goes to Chuji. The 7th place goes to Kiba. The 6th place goes to Hinata. The 5th place goes to Ino. The 4th place goes to Shino. The 3rd place goes to Sakura. The 2nd place goes to Sasuke. And the rookie of the year is Naruto Hatake, announced Irika. All of the students had different reactions. Shikamaru muttered troublesome and went off to sleep. Naruto knew Shikamaru could be in the top 3, but he was too lazy like all the Naras. Chuji was just happy that he had passed. Kiba mumbled something which went unheard by the rest of the students but seemed a little happy. Hinata had a short smile on her face. Naruto observed carefully and saw there was a hint of sadness in her eyes. He could understand why she was feeling like this. She was the heiress of the Hyuga clan and many people expected her to be top kunoichi, but Sakura and Ino had really changed in the past years. Hinata was formidable in taijutsu, but in the rest of the skills she was average. This was where she got beaten by Ino and Sakura, who were skilled in genjutsu and academics. They also were good at ninjutsu. Ino was yelling loudly that she would beat Sakura but was also happy at the same time. Naruto had advised her and Sakura that it was not a bad thing that they liked Sasuke or any other boy, but if they were just focused on their crush and did not develop their shinobi skills then they may die. They both realized their mistakes and had started improving, and as a result were now strong kunoichi. Shino just gave a respectful nod and remained impassive, as expected from the Aburames. Sakura did the unexpected, she just gave a smile to her friends and accepted Ino's demand for a match. "Congratulations," said Sasuke, shocking both Naruto and Sakura. "Sasuke-kun," said both Sakura and Ino in shock. "That's all you're gonna get from that team," joked Naruto. Muttered Sasuke with a smirk. "So Mr. Rookie of the Year, how does it feel to be on the top?" asked Ino, putting her hand around Naruto's neck playfully. "Naruto, you are really strong, you showed me and Ino what it means to be a shinobi," said Sakura and gave a warm hug to Naruto. Naruto just gave a small smile in return, he was truly thankful for having such good friends. "I don't know, names and titles mean nothing in the shinobi world. Even the strongest shinobi could be defeated by a single mistake," explained Naruto, earning nods from everyone. "Well," said Naruto. "So Naruto is the Rookie of the Year and Sakura is the top kunoichi of the class. Now we will announce the teams," said Iruka loudly. All the students now paid attention, they were curious to see who their teammates and sensei would be. Iruka started announcing the teams until only 9 students were left in the class. The rest had left with their Jounin sensei. Team 7, Sakura Haruno, Sasuke Uchiha and Naruto Hatake. "You have been summoned to the Hokage's office," said Iruka. "Oh, that's not fair, why does Forehead get to be with Naruto-kun and Sasuke-kun?" whined Ino. Said Hinata, but stopped as a few tears came in her eyes. She really wanted to be with Naruto, to show him how much she loved him. She then quickly wiped away her tears and made the best poker face. "Why is she so obsessed with me? She should know I only see her as a good friend. I don't want to break her heart. If she finds out I love Kurenai, I don't know what she would do," thought Naruto with a frown. Team 8, Kiba Inuzuka, Hinata Hyuga and Shino Aburame. "Your Jounin sensei will be Kakashi Hatake," announced Iruka. Naruto saw Kiba's excited face when his team was announced. Shino just remained stoic while Hinata seemed neutral but was very sad. Naruto understood why Kakashi was made their sensei. He had already trained both Naruto and Sasuke in their Sharingan. Also Kakashi was a good tracker and with his dog summons he was the best choice for these 3. Team 10, Ino Yamanaka, Chuji Akimichi and Shikamaru Nara. "Your Jounin sensei will be Asuma Sarutobi," said Iruka. "Troublesome," said Shikamaru with a yawn. "Why do I have to be with this lazy bum?" whined Ino with anime tears dropping from her eyes. Everyone chuckled a little and they could understand why Ino was feeling like this because Shikamaru was really very lazy. Chuji just had a big smile on his face as he was in a team with his best friend Shikamaru. "Sasuke, Sakura-chan, we should go," said Naruto. "Right," said Sasuke and Sakura just nodded. The trio then exited from the room and went towards the Hokage tower. "I wonder who their sensei would be," thought Shikamaru analytically. The 3 genin entered the Hokage's office wondering about the reason, or why they had been summoned here. They saw the Hokage sitting in his chair. There were 2 more people in the room beside the squad of ANBU that was hidden in the shadows. These people were none other than Anko and Kurenai. Naruto could perceive that the ANBU were feeling quite curious and a little excited. He was a very adept sensor whose skills had grown over the years. Kurenai gave a wide smile to Naruto and Enko gave him a little wink playfully. Naruto just chuckled on seeing their reactions. The trio stood in front of the Hokage and gave him a deep bow. "No need to be so formal, now you may be wondering why you have been summoned here," suggested Hiruzen. "Hi," said Sakura curtly. "First of all I would like to congratulate you for your performance over these years. You three are the best of the academy and as a result you have been summoned here. But before we go further," Naruto steps forward, commanded Hiruzen. "I am yours to command, Hokage-sama," said Naruto with a bow. Sasuke's eyebrows twitched a bit. He was always a little wary of Naruto. Naruto was his best friend but he cared about the village more than what Sasuke expected. Naruto was also too devoted to the Hokage. Sakura and Enko just sighed on seeing Naruto's actions. They both knew he was a very loyal shinobi and no matter what he would always be too devoted for their tastes. Kurenai felt a little proud on seeing Naruto's loyalty. He was his student, best friend, and maybe a lover. He was a prodigy, graduated at the top of the class and most of all she liked people who were loyal to the village and cared about their precious people. And Naruto was one such person. "Naruto, I hereby promote you to Chunin," said Hiruzen, shocking everyone present in the room. "What?" asked all of them in unison. "May I know the reason for this promotion, Hokage-sama?" asked Naruto seriously. "There are a few reasons for this. First of all, your skills are far too advanced for a genin. Your teachers have recommended you be moved up further in the ranks," said Hiruzen. "But Hokage-sama, he just became a genin." "You also have to participate in the Chunin exams for promotion," argued Enko. She didn't doubt Naruto's skills but wanted him to have some experience before getting the promotion. "You do present a good point, Enko, but a shinobi can be promoted to Chunin if the Kage deems him fit for the duty," said Hiruzen calmly. "But Hokage-sama, such a promotion hasn't been done since," said Kurenai, but then she glanced towards Sasuke and did not speak further. Itachi was the only person who was directly promoted to Chunin after becoming a genin. Kurenai knew from Naruto that Itachi was a sensitive topic for Sasuke and as such did not speak further. "Yes, that is true. However, the major reason for Naruto's promotion is because of the ANBU commander of our village," said Hiruzen seriously. "What does the ANBU commander has to do with Naruto?" asked Sakura curiously. "He wants Naruto to join the ANBU Black Ops," explained Hiruzen, shocking everyone in the room. "No," said Sasuke, bringing everyone's attention to him. "Speak freely, Sasuke," said Naruto, knowing Sasuke wanted to say something. "Hokage-sama, I know Naruto is stronger than all of us, but he is a little young for this. It's the same as with him," explained Sasuke. Everyone in the room agreed with him. Naruto was happy that Sasuke cared about his well-being, but he would follow whatever orders the Hokage gave him. That is why the ANBU commander wants to test his skills as a Chunin. "Due to the Kyuubi attack we lost many skilled shinobi. Over these years we have restored our military strength, but we need skilled ninja like Naruto in our special forces. Right now tension is rising between the villages, as a result you all have been summoned here," explained Hiruzen. "What is Hokage-sama?" asked Kurenai warily. She was worried for Naruto's safety. ANBU Black Ops performed the most dangerous missions for the village, and many missions were such where they didn't come back alive. She did not want to lose Naruto. As a result, she was trying to find a way to get him out of this mess, but she also knew that the Hokage's word was final, but that didn't mean she wouldn't try. In this hour the village needs a special group of shinobi for various missions. Our ANBU forces are already stretched thin, and the Jounin are also working to the best of their ability. I am forming a team of shinobi with special skills. This team will directly report to me. You all have been selected for this team with Naruto acting as the leader," explained Hiruzen. He knew Naruto was more than capable of leading a team and was just trying to make the others understand it as well. "You said this team has been selected for its special skills. Can you tell us why we have been selected?" asked Kurenai curiously. "Certainly, Enko is trained in infiltration, assassination, and interrogation. Kurenai is the best at genjutsu, Sakura is also good at genjutsu and perhaps medical ninjutsu if she is trained properly. Sasuke is skilled in ninjutsu and taijutsu. As for Naruto, he shall explain about his skills himself, said Hiruzen. Care to explain, Naruto? Asked Kurenai skeptically. She didn't like to be kept in the dark, and it seemed that the Hokage and Naruto were hiding something. I will explain, but Gigi, do you really think I'm capable of leading this team? Surely Anko and Kurenai are jounin and are more experienced than me, lied Naruto. That may be true, but this will serve as a test to ascertain your leadership abilities and your skills. Anko and Kurenai will surely guide you when necessary. To be honest, Naruto, I wanted to promote you quickly through the ranks, but I wanted you to have some friends, so I delayed your promotion, but I cannot do that any longer. I need your skills to serve the village as best you can, and I know you can do it, explained Hiruzen with a warm smile. I will get the job done, Hokage-sama. I will try my best, promised Naruto. Anko was a little suspicious about all of this but decided to keep quiet. Sasuke and Sakura, you two also show great promise, and I intend to promote you two after seeing your performance in a few missions, said Hiruzen. Thank you, Hokage-sama, said Sakura with a warm smile while Sasuke nodded. Now all of you get to know each other and practice your teamwork. I will be assigning you your missions soon. You will not be performing D-rank, so don't be worried, said Hiruzen with a chuckle. All the three genin sighed in relief on hearing this. D-ranks were a major pain in the ass for all genin. Hiruzen then handed Naruto his Chunin uniform, which he accepted respectfully. Kurenai was really happy on seeing this, and she silently gave Naruto her congratulations, which Naruto noticed and gave her a small smile. Let's meet at Training Ground 20 in a few minutes, suggested Naruto. Everyone nodded and the genin exited the office while Anko and Kurenai stayed as they had some questions. Hokage-sama, are you sure about this? Asked Anko doubtfully. I am Anko. I want you and Kurenai to guide this team. Naruto has a lot of potential and I don't want it to be wasted. This team can become one of the best teams in the history of our village, said Hiruzen. Hokage-sama, there must have been some reason for you to have so much faith in Naruto's ability. How strong is he? Asked Kurenai curiously. All of your answers will be answered by him. The only thing I ask from you is be patient and hear him out first, requested Hiruzen. Both the kunoichi nodded hesitantly, not sure what they were going to find out. Only if they knew what a big secret they were going to hear. All the members of Team 7 arrived at Training Ground 20. Anko and Kurenai were in their jounin vest, while Sasuke was wearing a black shirt with the Uchiha crest on its back and was wearing black shorts. Sakura was wearing a gray shirt and black shorts. She was also wearing fingerless gloves. They all saw Naruto standing on top of the lake of the training ground, and he looked quite different. He was wearing his green Chunin flak jacket and had a blue shirt underneath it. He was wearing black ANBU pants and fingerless gloves in his hands. His face was covered by his face mask while his headband was on his left hand, allowing 2 locks of blonde hair to fall on his face. He was also wearing black combat boots. But the most interesting thing was he had a sword strapped to his back. Why do you have a sword strapped on your back, Naruto? Asked Kurenai curiously. She didn't know Naruto was skilled in kenjutsu. That is because I am a little skilled with sword, said Naruto with a light chuckle. Don't try to play tricks, Gaki. Kakashi has agreed to teach you kenjutsu but has not taught you yet. Please don't try to be a hero on the first day of our team, advised Anko seriously. Anko loved Naruto like her younger brother, and as such she considered it her job to guide him. We live in a world of lies and deception, Anko. There are many things which you don't know about me, said Naruto carefully. Sasuke gave Naruto a knowing look, saying he understood what Naruto might say and he had his support in this. Naruto gave a thankful nod to Sasuke. Naruto-kun, please don't talk in riddles. Get to the point, said Sakura curtly. She was a little doubtful of all of this, but she had faith in Naruto. I know all of you have doubts about me being a Chunin and more as a leader of this team. I can understand, and I can think of only one way to remove your doubts. Fight with me, all of you against me. if you find my skills or my tactics unworthy I will resign as the leader of this team, said Naruto honestly. Naruto, I know you are strong but you want to fight all of us? There are 2 jounin here and 2 of the best genin of this academy. Plus Sasuke has his Sharingan and Sakura is adept with genjutsu. I don't think this is right, said Kurenai worriedly. Do what he says, said Sasuke seriously. What? Sasuke, you cannot be serious, asked Sakura a little angrily. When fighting an opponent with superior strength, make sure you have the numbers, you taught me that, didn't you Naruto, said Sasuke with a smirk. You mean he can take all of us, scoffed Anko. Yes, said Sasuke stoically and activated his Sharingan. Alright Naruto, but please surrender if you get injured, said Kurenai softly. I can say the same for you, said Naruto in a challenging voice. Alright, let's go, announced Anko. Anko then rushed towards Naruto and proceeded with a couple of hand signs. She finished with the tiger sign. Katan, Ryuka no Jutsu, fire release, dragon fire technique. A large stream of fire was released from Anko's mouth which headed straight for Naruto at tremendous speed and engulfed everything in its path. Naruto immediately took out a ceiling tag and threw it in the air. He then quickly performed a couple of hand signs in order to perform his technique against the fire attack of Anko. Fuinjutsu Fukahouen, fire sealing method. The tag then dropped in front of the stream of fire and much to everyone's amazement it absorbed the entire attack and then disappeared with a puff of smoke, leaving only ash and a little smoke in the area. Before Anko could counterattack she saw a figure cut through the smoke. Her eyes widened when she saw Naruto heading towards her with his sword which was glowing. But the most shocking thing was she saw Naruto's eyes had a 3-tomo Sharingan. Naruto made a horizontal swing at Anko's chest with his sword. Anko stepped out of her stupor and back-flipped a few meters away avoiding the attack. Or so she thought. A large cut appeared on her jounin vest. Anko was shocked to see this. But I avoided the attack. Most of all, why the fuck does he have the Sharingan, thought Anko angrily. Naruto just remained there with his sword in his hand and looking at Anko with his Sharingan eyes. With the others. Is that? Said Sakura in shock. A Sharingan? Asked Kurenai in shock. She felt hurt on seeing this. Naruto had betrayed her trust. Yes it is, we need to move now. This is a fight, our questions can be answered later, said Sasuke hurriedly as his Sharingan picked up Naruto, finishing a lot of hand signs rapidly. With Naruto. Suetun, Suryuden no Jutsu, water release, water dragon bullet technique. A large dragon of water was formed from the lake and it rushed towards Anko with great speed. Anko had started performing her own hand signs but was already late. To her surprise, Sakura and Sasuke jumped in front of her and started performing their own hand signs. Doton, Doriahiki, earth release, earth-style wall. They both used a lot of chakra and a large wall of mud rose from the ground and covered the trio. The water dragon collided with the mud wall with great speed and shattered it to pieces, but they had jumped away from the position. The entire area was covered in water droplets as the water dragon exploded on coming in contact with the mud wall. The rest of the members of Team 7 were shocked and they saw Naruto high in the air and released a kunai towards them, followed by a couple of other quick hand signs. Kage kunai no jutsu, shadow kunai technique. That one kunai now multiplied into hundreds of identical kunai which struck the rest of the members of Team 7 with great speed. Genjutsu ha. Pretty smart, Kurenai thought Naruto as they members of Team 7 that were hit with the kunai attack disappeared in leaves. Naruto sensed Sasuke's chakra behind him and immediately swung his sword backwards and blocked the kunai that Sasuke was holding, making a loud noise. He then attempted to hit his left elbow straight into Sasuke's face, but Sasuke blocked it with his remaining hand, but was shocked when Naruto used that distraction to flip over Sasuke's head and gave a strong kick to his head and sent him stumbling a few feet away. Naruto then saw Anko appear in front of him with a mad grin on her face, followed by a couple of hand signs. Senii Tajashu, many hidden shadow snake hands. 3 dozen snakes were launched from Anko's sleeves and were rushing at Naruto with great speed and flipping their tongues venomously. Where does she hide all of them, thought Naruto in amusement. He then surged wind chakra through his swords and used a shunshin and teleported away. Anko was confident that her snakes would subdue Naruto but was shocked when Naruto appeared in front of her and gave a harsh kick to her chest, sending her crashing into a nearby tree. She felt a few of her ribs crack from the attack. When she opened her eyes she saw Naruto had already cleaved her snakes in half. Damn, his shunshin is way too fast, thought Anko, but before she could do anything 3 Narutos appeared in front of her and attempted to decapitate her from different angles. But all of Naruto's movement was stopped when their bodies started getting caught in branches of trees which suddenly appeared out of nowhere. Kurenai stepped out of one of the tree branches with her kunai pressed on one of Naruto's throats, who she thought was the main Naruto and not his shadow clones. "It's over, Naruto," said Kurenai with barely restrained anger. She was very upset that Naruto had hidden such a big truth from her about him being an Uchiha and as such wanted to finish the fight and have a talk with him. "Is it?" asked Naruto impassively and looked at Kurenai with his Sharingan. Suddenly, to Kurenai's shock, instead of Naruto being bound in her genjutsu, she found herself trapped in her own jutsu, binded by her own trees. All 3 Naruto pointed a sword at her and took a swing, but she bit her tongue and the genjutsu disappeared and she ducked at the last moment. She back-flipped a few meters away and looked at the 3 impassive Narutos seriously. Which is the real one? She thought frustratingly. She was relieved to see Sasuke and Sakura in their positions, and Anko had cleared herself from the field in order to prevent her from being used as a hostage. "Why do you have the Sharingan, Naruto?" yelled Kurenai angrily. She just wished her plan would work. But what she didn't know was that Naruto had already sensed and located Sasuke and Sakura in the trees behind him, waiting to strike him from behind. He was not a censor for nothing. He also felt Anko's signature behind him, but it looked like she was hurt badly. She was surprised when 2 Narutos immediately performed a quick substitution, and she couldn't believe what they had substituted themselves with. They were none other than Sasuke and Sakura, both of whom had a sword and a kunai placed on their necks ready to cut them instantly. Naruto looked at Kurenai seriously and said in a very cold tone, "Your teammates are captured and are at my mercy. Anko is now at my clone's mercy. Yield now." "That is the only option you have," said Naruto impassively and pressed the kunai and sword closer to Sasuke and Sakura's throat. Kurenai gritted her teeth in anger. Her entire strategy failed. She had planned to distract Naruto while Sasuke and Sakura would attack him from the back with their fire and earth jutsu. Naruto would have to dodge, and that was when she and Anko would strike unitedly and subdue Naruto. But now her entire plan had failed. 2 of her comrades were captured and the 3rd was nowhere visible. She had only one choice. "Damn it," thought Kurenai angrily. "You win, let them go," said Kurenai defeatedly. "Thought you'd never say that," said Naruto with a smirk. Kurenai was again surprised when Naruto, Sasuke and Sakura in front of her disappeared in a flock of crows. She found herself standing in the field. She looked around and saw all of her comrades were also standing beside her. "What happened?" asked Sakura curiously. "We were caught in his genjutsu," explained Kurenai. She was feeling a lot of emotions, proud of Naruto's mastery in genjutsu, angry at him for hiding the truth, and also at herself for getting caught in his genjutsu so easily. "But when did he get us?" asked Anko confusedly. "We must have looked him in the eyes," explained Sasuke. "How can we get caught in a genjutsu by just looking in his eyes?" asked Sakura curiously. She didn't know how powerful a Sharingan could be. "Sharingan can easily cast a genjutsu by just looking in the eyes. We must have looked at him sometime," said Sasuke frustratingly. He too had a 2-tomo Sharingan, but from his training with Kakashi he knew Naruto's eyes were far more powerful than any Uchiha he knew. His eyes were even stronger than Itachi. Also, Sasuke was not as skilled in Sharingan genjutsu as Naruto yet. Suddenly all of them felt something cold touch their necks. they looked behind and saw 4 Narutos holding a sword at their throats and were looking at them coldly without any emotion on their face. "Your assumptions are right," said Naruto seriously. "What are you asked Sakura, but was cut off when Naruto pressed the sword more closely to their throats. "Do you accept your defeat?" asked Naruto seriously, with his Sharingan eyes looking coldly at all of them. All the members of Team 7 were shocked on seeing this new Naruto. He was cold, calculative, and was insanely stronger, faster and smarter than all of them. All of them looked at each other and considered their options. They knew if they even tried to move, their throats would be cut immediately, and most of all they wanted answers about his Sharingan, and that was more important than this fight. The only one who knew about Naruto's Sharingan was Sasuke. But he was also quite shocked by Naruto's skills. Naruto has shown great skill in ninjutsu, taijutsu, genjutsu, fuinjutsu and kenjutsu. Plus his speed was far too great for them. He wondered how far stronger was Naruto. Sakura couldn't believe what had just happened. She liked Naruto. He had helped her change from a crazy fangirl to a smart kunoichi. She received the title of top kunoichi due to her strength in genjutsu, academics, and her strength with her earth-style jutsu. But when she compared herself to Naruto, she found herself outclassed. Anko was in a state of shock. She couldn't believe that the boy she considered her brother was so skilled and had hidden such a big truth from her all these years. She wondered how far had Naruto held back during their training spars. But the one who was upset the most was none other than Kurenai. She felt cheated. Naruto had lied to her for all these years. He had not told her about his identity and his powers honestly. She loved Naruto, and to find out that he had hidden such a big truth from her broke her heart a little. "We forfeit," said Anko seriously, giving Naruto a firm look, saying this was not over. Naruto removed the sword from their throats and dispersed his 3 shadow clones quickly, but as soon as he sheathed his sword he felt someone grab the collar of his Chunin vest roughly and be pulled closer to this person. He looked up and saw this person was none other than Kurenai. And one look in her eyes made Naruto realize what she was feeling. It was pure anger. "I need answers now," hissed Kurenai angrily with righteous feminine fury in her voice. Yahoo! Another chapter finished of this story. Yay, the evil cliffhangers are back with a bang. Jokes apart, hope you guys liked the chapter and the amount of twists it had. I am sure many of you have many questions and I will surely answer all of them. I did show Naruto's training of Chidori. I think it is easier to learn Chidori because it only gathers chakra in the user's hands while the Rasengan makes it rotate and turn at great speed. Finally, Naruto's identity and his truth about his Sharingan is known to some of his precious people. Hope you guys liked the twist with new Team 7 with slight modifications. I will explain this fight if some of you have any doubts later. Updates will be a little slow as I have a lot of work in the next few days, but they will come eventually. I have major twists planned for the next chapters. I will explain everything about this chapter's fight and why Sasuke and Sakura know a B-ranked ninjutsu. Blue Life stared into red eyes without blinking for a second. Many emotions could be seen in the respective eyes. One reflected feelings of guilt and sorrow while the other reflected feelings of betrayal, hurt and sadness. Naruto looked at Kurenai's face. He could see how hurt she was. It broke his heart. He did not blame Kurenai for behaving like this. She had every right to be like this. He was her student, best friend. Both of them shared a deep bond of love between them, and he had hidden a major part of his identity from her. Naruto knew that Kurenai was fiercely loyal to the village and to her precious people, and she did not like it when someone lied to her. Kurenai's heart was broken and she grabbed Naruto's collar more roughly and brought him closer to her face, with only mere inches from her lips. If it was some other moment, Naruto would never avert his gaze from her beautiful face and lips. But right now he couldn't look in her eyes. "Naruto, I need answers now," demanded Kurenai again and leaked little ki. To her surprise, Naruto just gave a nod. She expected him to be angry at her for behaving like this in front of the rest of the team, but he just didn't show any emotions. I will answer every question of every one of you. But please just ask them one at a time, requested Naruto quietly. Sasuke knew he had to step in and help Naruto out, so he stepped up and gently removed Kurenai's hands from Naruto's collar. She gave him a harsh glare, but he didn't flinch at all. Leave his collar. He won't be able to answer if you keep strangling him, said Sasuke sternly and stared at Kurenai with his Sharingan. Kurenai removed her hands roughly and stepped a few meters back but continued to give a stern gaze to Naruto. Sakura saw Naruto's hurt face, even though she felt a little sad that Naruto had hidden some things from her, but she knew she had to be rational and at least give him some support to explain himself. Naruto-kun, how do you have the Sharingan? Asked Sakura in a kind voice. Because I am an Uchiha, said Naruto honestly. But how can this be possible? There were no other survivors after that incident with the Uchiha clan. You were an Uzumaki before Kakashi adopted you. I just don't understand, said Anko confusedly. Yes, you are right, I had the Uzumaki name before Kakashi Nissen adopted me, even he, and I didn't know that I was an Uchiha before that incident, said Naruto sadly as he remembered his first kill. What incident? Asked Kurenai seriously. She was now in more control of her anger and wanted to hear Naruto's reasons. A small part of her heart felt very sad when she saw Naruto. I was 6 years old and was training in a field when I was attacked, said Naruto silently. All the members of the team were quite shocked to hear this. Who would want to attack a child? Sasuke and Sakura were shocked on hearing this. Sasuke wondered how hard Naruto's life was and Sakura was feeling very sad for her best friend. Anko and Kurenai looked at each other. They knew why he would have been attacked. Both of their anger reduced a little. They could now understand that his life had been hard and as such should listen to him. Surprisingly, Kurenai stepped forward and put a hand on Naruto's shoulder gently. What happened? Who were those attackers? Asked Kurenai softly. Naruto's eyes widened on seeing this. He didn't expect Kurenai to lose her anger so quickly, but then he also realized that they were best friends and as such she was trying to support him. They were ANBU Black Ops, said Naruto, but didn't mention they were root for obvious reasons. What? Yelled all of them in shock. It will be better if I show you, said Naruto and activated his Sharingan. All the members felt the world around them change and they were now standing in a white plain and Naruto was standing beside them. After a few moments some light came in front of them. Flashback. Suddenly 2 people arrived at the training ground. Naruto looked at them and saw 2 ANBU standing there. Their faces were hidden by their masks, however their masks were different from most ANBU, because they were blank. Naruto Hatake, said the ANBU on the left. Huh? Asked Naruto, curious as to why the ANBU were here and asking for him. Suddenly both the ANBU charged at him, drawing their swords ready to strike him down. Naruto had only time to blink as he barely dodged the strike of the swords but still got a cut on his face mask. It was due to sheer luck and due to some of Kakashi's training that he was barely able to dodge the blow. What the hell are you doing? Shouted Naruto angrily. The ANBU were surprised that he was able to dodge the strike but neither showed any emotions. They never showed emotions. Getting out of their daze, they started leaking a massive amount of killing intent. This was the type of killing intent of silent assassins. Naruto was frozen in shock. His body wasn't moving, his heartbeat was increasing every second, he was already hearing it beating so many times. He barely was able to get a kunai from his pouch, but his hands were trembling. He had faced a lot of angry villagers on many occasions, but the killing intent these ANBU were leaking were the most powerful one he had faced in his entire life. There was a sharp pain in his eyes. The ANBU rushed at him. One of them swung his sword towards Naruto's chest while the other ANBU jumped in the air with his sword drawn ready to cleave Naruto in half. Time seemed to slow down for Naruto. All the things started to move much more slowly around him. He could see the leaves rustling in the air at a much slower pace. He could see that the ANBU were drawing closer towards him. To any other shinobi the ANBU would seem like blurs, but for Naruto he was able to read their movements and the exact angle through which they were going to strike him. I can't move, what is happening? I can't die here, I will not die, thought Naruto. Acting purely on what his instincts were telling him, he backflipped a few meters, but the ANBUs attacked him again. The one on the left tried to attack him with a diagonal slash from his sword, but before his attack could even connect, he felt something cold pierce his chest, but when he looked down all he could see was 2 red eyes with 2 tomatoes in it and a kunai buried deep in his heart. The ANBU's lifeless body fell dead on the ground, and after a few seconds a glow came from his left arm and the entire body was engulfed in flames, burning the body to ashes. Meanwhile Naruto was frozen in his spot, his hands were shaking. He was looking at the blood stains on his hands and realized he had just killed a man. He didn't know what happened, he had just ducked before the blow hit him, and before he realized what was happening his kunai was lodged into the ANBU's heart. He had seen the shock in the man's eyes hidden behind his mask, which was then replaced with emptiness before he fell on the ground and was burned to a crisp. I killed him, I am a murderer, thought Naruto sadly, and tears started to drop from his eyes. Meanwhile the remaining ANBU was shocked to see his partner killed by the boy and was just about to attack him and was already charging towards him. Naruto was frozen in his spot, so it looked much easier. The ANBU readied his sword to deliver the blow, but his entire body was electrocuted and something had pierced his chest. He looked down to see a hand sticking out of his chest which was covered in a ball of lightning. He only heard a single word before he fell lifeless on the ground. Raikiri. Flashback end. This was how I got my Sharingan, said Naruto soberly and removed the genjutsu. He was surprised when he was engulfed in a bone-crushing hug by Kurenai, who was crying and was continuously apologizing to him for her rude behavior. He looked around and saw Anko's sad look and Sakura's shocked face. Sakura had never seen any killing and as such was shocked to see her best friend's first kill. Sasuke was now a little angry as Naruto had lied to him about how he activated his Sharingan, but he could also understand that this was Naruto's pain and as such was not willing to share it, and also they were not good friends when he had lied to him. Kurenai was feeling the worst, she could not imagine how painful it must have been for Naruto. She knew as a shinobi they had to kill. She had her first kill when she was 13 and it still haunted her sometimes, and to find out that Naruto had to go through such a horrible experience at such a young age broke her heart. She hugged Naruto more tightly. Thank you, said Naruto honestly and released the hug much to Kurenai's protest. Why did you not tell us about this? Did you not trust us? Asked Anko sadly. No, it was never a matter of trust. That incident was classified by the Hokage. The only people who knew about this were Gigi, Kakashi Nissen and me. Gigi had told us not to reveal this until extremely necessary, explained Naruto truthfully. And you think it was time to tell us the truth? Asked Sakura softly. Yes, I know I have hurt all of you, but please understand that this was something that I didn't want to reveal until the right time. I trust all of you with my life, but this was something personal and I was also following my orders. But I know I have hurt all of you and for that I'm extremely sorry, said Naruto and dropped to his knees and bowed in front of all of them. The rest of the team was a little taken back by this reaction, they didn't know how to handle this situation. On one hand, they were sad that Naruto had hidden this truth for so much time, but seeing he trusted them now and was telling them really put them in a lot of turmoil. It's alright Naruto-kun. But please no more secrets, said Sakura trying to calm down the situation. Naruto just gave a nod, he knew he could not promise such a thing, but right now it was the only option he had. How strong are you? Asked Sasuke seriously. If he wanted to trust Naruto as a teammate and brother he had to know some more things about him. I don't want to boast about my abilities. You all just say what I can do, that's all I have to say, said Naruto seriously. He did not want to show his real strength until very necessary in order to avoid more questions. Look Naruto, if you are to be the leader of this team, then we should know everything about you and you should know everything about us, said Kurenai flatly. She had enough of this secrecy. Anko and Sakura agreed too. Naruto just sighed. He knew he had to tell them something at least. If his teammates didn't trust him and knew about his abilities, then how would their team be efficient and perform missions? Fair enough, I'll tell you my abilities, and you tell me yours, said Naruto seriously. I'll start first. I am good at learning genjutsu. I also want to learn medical ninjutsu to help my comrades. I am also good with Doton ninjutsu. Rest of all my abilities are average, said Sakura, starting the introduction. I am skilled in fire-style ninjutsu and Doton jutsu. I don't know much about genjutsu, but I'm working on it. I am skilled in the Uchiha Interceptor Fist Taijutsu and Shuriken Jutsu, said Sasuke briefly. I am skilled in fire-style ninjutsu and Hibi-style taijutsu. My genjutsu skills are average, but I am quite flexible and have speed. I am trained in assassination, recon, infiltration and interrogation, explained Anko. The others were quite impressed with the skills she had. I am a genjutsu master and thus skilled in this art. My taijutsu and shuriken jutsu are average. I have a Suiton affinity on which I am working to learn different ninjutsu. I also know a little Fuinjutsu, explained Kurenai. Naruto and the others were quite surprised that she knew Fuinjutsu. Everyone then turned towards Naruto, expecting a brief explanation as many of his abilities were highly advanced for a genin. I am skilled in Suiton and Katon ninjutsu. I also am good with Futon and know some Raiton ninjutsu. My genjutsu is good. I am proficient in the Uchiha Interceptor Fist and Hibi style. I know Kenjutsu and Fuinjutsu and I am a little proficient in them, explained Naruto seriously. All the members of Team 7 were shocked to hear this. Naruto was skilled in all the different branches of shinobi arts. Naruto, this can't be true. You cannot do ninjutsu of 4 different affinities efficiently if you don't have those affinities. As far as I know, you are skilled in only fire and water style, argued Anko. She had only seen him perform jutsu of these affinities until now. That is true, Anko, however I am skilled in these ninjutsu because I have 4 affinities, said Naruto again, shocking the members of Team 7. What? That's impossible, said Sakura logically. She knew many shinobi had 2, maximum 3, but for one to have 4 affinities was unheard of. Now I understand why Kakashi adopted you and what you have been doing for all these years. He trained you and Sasuke in the Uchiha Interceptor Fist, while he also trained you in ninjutsu and your Sharingan. You have learned genjutsu from me for the past 3 years. You also learnt Anko's Hibi-style taijutsu. Now the question remains, where did you learn Kenjutsu and Fuinjutsu? Asked Kurenai after briefly giving a logical explanation. That is a very good analysis, Kurenai, and you are right at each point. I learnt Kenjutsu and Fuinjutsu from Hokage-sama, said Naruto seriously. He was really good at deceiving people. He could look a person straight in the eyes and could lie to them and make the lie a truth with his confidence. It was one of his skills which he was not proud of, but as a shinobi it was necessary. Is that the real truth? Asked Sasuke seriously. Yes, Sasuke, it is, said Naruto without even blinking and looked at Sasuke straight in the eye. Both of them understood what the other was trying to say and nodded respectively. Now I see why the ANBU commander wants you to be in the Black Ops, said Anko, understanding the entire situation. She understood that ANBU and the Hokage must have kept tabs on Naruto and monitored his progress, and he was far more skilled than what she had anticipated. Yes, Naruto, if my analysis is correct, you are far stronger than a Chunin, as you defeated all of us easily. I want to know at what level you are, and please, I want the truth this time, requested Kurenai. Her anger had reduced a lot after listening to Naruto's reasons, and they seemed a little logical. It did hurt her, but she could understand him. But more than that, she loved him and wanted to be with him, so she forgave him. I am fit to be in the ANBU if my skills are considered, but I have to show some results in the fields before I am recruited, explained Naruto diplomatically. Would you join the ANBU, if you are deemed fit? Asked Sakura sadly. She did not want her best friend to get separated from her and Sasuke. Sasuke also nodded, indicating he also wanted an answer to that question. Anko and Kurenai also were waiting patiently for Naruto's answer. Yes, I will join ANBU. It was always my dream to join ANBU and I hope I am capable for that, said Naruto with a small smile. With your Sharingan you can easily make it in the ANBU, said Sasuke with a smirk. All the females looked at Naruto and Sasuke strangely. They were quite suspicious with Sasuke's behavior. They expected him to have some reaction by seeing Naruto's Sharingan and he was his family, but he was just behaving normally. Sakura wondered when had Naruto and Sasuke become such good friends. At one point they couldn't stand each other and now they were behaving like brothers. That only meant one thing: Sasuke knew about Naruto's Sharingan from the beginning. Did you know about Naruto's Sharingan? Asked Anko sternly to Sasuke. Naruto and Sasuke looked at each other. Naruto made eye contact with Sasuke and requested him to make up some good excuse or else Kurenai would kick his ass. Yes, he was training once and I wanted to fight with him. When I arrived at the training ground, I accidentally saw his Sharingan. I then asked him about this and he had no choice but to tell me the truth. We then talked with the Hokage and he asked me to keep my mouth closed about this for a while, so I didn't speak about this with anyone, explained Sasuke to the females confidently. Wow, who would have thought he could lie so perfectly? Thanks Sasuke, thought Naruto with a smirk. Is that so? Asked Sakura with a very sweet voice and cracked her knuckles. There was a dark aura surrounding her. Both the boys gulped on seeing this. Over these years the three of them had become best friends. They used to hang out together, train together. Naruto even gave them some pointers for their Doton ninjutsu after consulting with Kakashi. Both the boys knew Sakura had changed, but if anyone made her mad it would be hell to pay. Even Sasuke didn't want to piss off Sakura. She sure has talent. I like this girl, thought Anko with a smirk. Guess Sakura can keep these two idiots in control, thought Kurenai proudly. Yeah, you sure can ask Hokage-sama about this. I am sure he can explain, said Sasuke a little nervously. That we will, said Kurenai confidently. Sasuke and Naruto looked at each other. They didn't need words to convey their message. You owe me for this dobe. Thanks, I'll make it up to you, I promise. Let's just hope the old geezer can handle 3 pissed-off kunoichi. Somewhere in the Hokage tower an old man in Kage robes sneezed loudly. Why do I feel as if I am in great trouble, thought Hiruzen with a little fear. Well, is there any other surprises we should be aware of, asked Kurenai sweetly. Only that I am a censor, said Naruto quickly. He was a little scared of Kurenai now. You a censor? Don't joke about Gaki, said Anko and laughed. Censors are very rare. You didn't show any such abilities in the academy, said Sakura confidently. He didn't show his Sharingan either, retorted Sasuke. Everyone was surprised when Sakura gave a light bop on Sasuke's head, making a small bump on his head. Acting smartass are we? We'll decide what to do with both of you after talking with the Hokage, said Sakura with a smirk. Damn, she sure can hit hard, thought Sasuke with a frown. Naruto, Kurenai and Anko started laughing loudly on seeing this. For Naruto it sure was fun to see Sasuke being subdued by Sakura. What are you laughing at, dobe? Yelled Sasuke angrily. He was a little embarrassed when everyone was laughing at him. It's just funny to see you, the emo king, being talked down, said Naruto with a chuckle. Is that so? I wonder what would Kurenai do if she found out about your hot springs adventure a little while back, said Sasuke with a devious smile on his face. Naruto started feeling nervous. He and Sasuke were just returning after training until they heard some voices coming from a place. They went there to investigate and that place was none other than Konoha Hot Springs. Both the boys sure had a good time there. Damn you team, 2 can play this game, thought Naruto with a smirk. I remember one emo king also tagging along with me, retorted Naruto with a smirk. Sasuke was just about to respond when both the boys felt the air around them getting a lot colder. They both looked back and saw all the females cracking their knuckles and with demonic expressions on their faces. Naruto, I think we need to have a little talk, said Kurenai with a dark chuckle. We would also like to hear about your adventure. said Enko very sweetly. Sasuke. Naruto, you're dead, yelled Sakura and cracked her knuckles. Both the boys each other and yelled loudly. Oh shit. Few hours later. The members of Team 7 were sitting in the training ground. They had practiced their teamwork for the past few hours after a little talk which the girls of the teams quite enjoyed. The same couldn't be said for Sasuke and Naruto XD. Their team was a very balanced team. Naruto was very happy to see Sakura and Kurenai were a good combo in Genjutsu. Kurenai was training Sakura and the girl was quite good with illusions. On the other hand, Sasuke and Naruto were the heavy hitters of the team. Their job was to confront the enemy head-on and face the brunt of the attack. They would receive support from Sakura and Kurenai. Enko was their trump card. While the rest of the team would distract the enemy, she could infiltrate enemy positions and assassinate or capture their targets. The Hokage had indeed thought well about their abilities and formed this team. They still needed to act more quickly and as a unit, but Naruto was sure that they would be able to do that with a few days of hard work. The training had been quite gruesome and all the members of Team 7 were quite tired. Enko was sleeping on the branches of a tree, while Sakura and Sasuke were sitting under the shade of the tree and were talking about various combination attacks. Naruto and Kurenai were sitting near the lake. Kurenai had cooled down a lot and was now able to understand Naruto and his reasons. She just wanted to say that she was there for him. Naruto looked at Kurenai. He could understand many things had happened today and he was not sure what Kurenai thought of him now. You hate me now, don't you? Asked Naruto carefully. Why do you think that I hate you? I will never hate you no matter what, said Kurenai softly with a smile. That won't be possible, Kurenai thought Naruto sadly. Hey, snap out of it, you sure do space out a lot, joked Kurenai and chuckled. Naruto felt a little happy on seeing Kurenai happy. These were the moments that he would cherish his entire life. No matter what path he would choose, or how he would meet his end or who would kill him for his crimes, it didn't matter. No matter what happens, Kurenai, I will always love you, said Naruto silently. Unfortunately, Kurenai's listening skills were sharp and she heard what Naruto said. Do you really mean that? Asked Kurenai shakily. How she wished those words were true. She loved everything about Naruto. Who wouldn't love this type of guy? He was handsome, kind and cared for his friends. He was a strong shinobi and most of all he loved her for what she was. Huh? Asked Naruto innocently. He suddenly felt himself caught. He realized his tongue had slipped up and he was in trouble. Naruto, you don't want to do this, advised Kurama sternly. I know, Kurama, but I just can't live without her. She is my world. Haven't I sacrificed enough for this village? I watched my closest friends die one after one in front of my eyes en route. My brother died to save me. I endured all that pain, all for what? Can't I have the right to deserve some happiness before going down on my dark path that doesn't have a future? I am human in the end and I love her more than anything in this whole goddamn world, yelled Naruto. He couldn't bear this, his heart was already broken. How many lies had he told, how many sins he had committed so far? With great power comes great sacrifice, Naruto. I cannot understand what you are feeling now because I am not human and I am not you. But think said Kurama but was cut off. Please Kurama, don't say anything anymore. I just want to live a few moments as per my own free will, said Naruto sadly. Very well, said Kurama seriously. If Naruto wanted to do this, then he wouldn't stop him. The Biju also knew what the boy had gone through. Route was hell. And when Naruto entered it he didn't know that. Naruto had watched many of his comrades with whom he had trained fight to death and die in front of his eyes one by one. Those who survived suffered a fate worse than death. They were just reduced to mindless drones with no memories of their past. How would a person feel when his comrade didn't even remember him? Then one final act sealed the deal. With Shin's death by Naruto's hands, he was broken. He was very good at deception, so no one could look past his false mask. Not even Kurenai, or the ones closest to him. He had been carrying such pain for 3 years. All these traumas had turned him into a pacifist. He just didn't want any more bloodshed. He had seen enough death for one such young. Even after all of this, he was willing to sacrifice himself to save the village, but Kurama could understand that Naruto loves Kurenai more than anything. It was the cursed fate of the Uchiha clan. Kurama knew if Naruto didn't let out his feelings, he would break down, and nothing was more dangerous than a broken Uchiha. "Do you love me, Naruto?" asked Kurenai again. Her voice was more desperate than before. "Fuck it all. I just can't die without telling her how I feel," thought Naruto angrily. "Yes, I love you, Kurenai, you mean everything in the world to me. You were always by my side, helping me, guiding me, you were there for me as a friend, teacher, and many more things. Whenever I was sad, you would cheer me up, when I lost hope and wanted to give up, but you believed in me. I love you more than anything. You didn't even care what the villagers thought about you and continued to stand by my side. I just want to say this, you don't have to love me or even accept me, but from here on out, no matter what happens, I will always love you," said Naruto, and gave Kurenai the biggest smile. Kurenai's eyes widened on hearing everything that Naruto had said. In truth, she loved him with all her heart. She didn't give a rat's ass about their age difference or what the villagers might think of them. And now that Naruto had confessed his love for her, she became very happy. Naruto was patiently waiting for Kurenai's answer. In truth, no matter what answer she gave him, he loved her with all his heart. The reply he got was quite interesting. Kurenai slowly came in front of him, she then gently removed his face mask completely. Kurenai was shocked to see Naruto's face. It was as if she was looking at the Yondaime Hokage himself. The only difference was Naruto's hair was a little silkier than the fourth. "He just looks like the fourth," thought a shocked Kurenai. She indeed had her suspicions, but after seeing his face, her belief was getting a lot more stronger that Naruto was related to the fourth. Naruto felt a little vulnerable as Kurenai had removed his face mask. It had been close to 9 years since he had worn it. He never took it off. He didn't even remember when was the last time he saw his entire face in the mirror. But he didn't have time to think any further as he was hastily tackled to the ground by Kurenai. She was now right on top of him with her gorgeous hair falling on his body. Their lips were just an inch apart from each other. Naruto could feel her breath, and one look in her eyes showed him what Kurenai felt. "I love you too with all my heart. You are precious to me, with you I can be myself. You were always there for me, encouraged me to become a jounin, supported me during harsh times. With you I feel safe, you make me feel wanted," said Kurenai with a true smile. Naruto's heart melted on seeing her smile. To him it was one of the most beautiful things in the world. "But what would the villagers think about us?" asked Naruto sadly. He didn't mind what others thought about them, but Kurenai was a proud and respected kunoichi of the village. She had worked hard to achieve such a feat, and he didn't have the best reputation in the village. Naruto didn't want to get in the way of Kurenai's dreams. "I don't care about it anymore. When I had first kissed you, I was having these doubts about what others may think about me. But then I realized you mean everything to me. You are the man with whom I would like to spend my entire life with and have a family," said Kurenai happily. "Family?" asked Naruto sadly. He too wished to have a family one day. A lovely wife, few kids, and a nice peaceful home where he could spend the rest of his life in peace. But that dream could never be reality. "You don't want a family with me?" asked Kurenai in a hurt voice. "No, I do want a family with you. But I am nothing but trash, Kurenai. I don't deserve your love. I wasn't able to reveal my identity to you. I thought you would leave me when you would know the truth. I was scared, I just couldn't lose you. I don't know what I would do without you, for me you are my world. But I lied to you, and for that I am sorry," said Naruto sadly with a few tears in his eyes. It had been so long since he wanted to let Kurenai know his true feelings for her. "Don't talk like that. I admit I was hurt that you lied to me, but I forgive you because I love you more than anything. And you are not trash. If I ever hear those words from your mouth again I would kick your ass, joked Kurenai and chuckled. Hi, said Naruto happily, this was what he always wanted. Now you're mine Naruto-kun, said Kurenai with a seductive grin on her angelic face. Kurenai then immediately wrapped her arms around Naruto's neck and slowly brought her lips onto Naruto's lips and kissed him deeply. Naruto was a bit startled by this sudden kiss, but he relaxed and wrapped his arms around Kurenai's back and held her more tightly. He then kissed her back more passionately. Both of them were enjoying kissing each other. Naruto was getting a lot more aggressive and Kurenai liked that. She allowed him more access to her mouth, their tongues were dancing wildly with each other. They continued kissing each other for quite a while, both of them were feeling a lot more happy, they could feel that they were perfect for each other and loved each other more than anything. Fortunately the rest of the team were quite a distance away so they didn't notice the couple's little make-out session. Kurenai then broke the kiss after some time. She then gently kissed Naruto on his cheek leaving a red mark. She gave him a lovely smile. I love you Naruto-kun. I love you too Kurenai-chan. They both kissed each other again, they both were so busy in their own world that they didn't notice a pair of hateful lavender eyes looking at them from a distance. Naruto-kun will be mine. And that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it and until next time. Later.